everybody, and welcome to SciFi Vision Presents Talisman Transmissions for April 27th. Happy birthday, just me. Tonight we have the second episode of From we're going to review. And if you missed our interview earlier with Nathan D. Simmons, who plays Elgin, you can still stream that from our live tab. Please make sure also you check out our video tabs for all of our interviews, lots of them from, lots of other things too. And make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, and subscribe to SciFi Vision. It is always appreciated. Hi, guys. And everybody's quiet. What happened?
Hi.
Hi. Nobody answered me. I'm like, what happened?
And Karen's here, but I don't know if she's here. Like she logged in.
That's okay. Well, while she's doing whatever, what did you think about this episode?
It was good. I mean, I'm glad that I just want to keep seeing. I want an entire show of Julie shadow walking, or story walking.
Story walking, yeah.
I was really hoping that was going to be something that happened. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be obviously her going to see Jim because she hasn't cut her hair yet. But yeah, no, I mean, it's second episode dealing with the aftermath of certain things. I have some speculations about Ethan and Jim at the end of the episode. So, what about you, Karen? What did you think?
I have some speculations about Ethan and Jim at the end of the episode also. I thought it was pretty good, especially being a second episode and kind of a lot happened. A second episode sometimes can be a lot about moving the pieces on the board, right? A lot happened. I kind of wish more happened with Elgin, just because we had this, came to this great climax of that storyline, and then Acosta had to steal all the attention for herself.
That's true.
But I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good episode, and I'm looking forward to talking about it with you guys this evening.
I concur.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like not as much happened as the first week, but I think the reason why I feel like that, it isn't that not as much happened. It's that we knew Jim was dead. Nobody, I mean, I don't know, maybe some people thought he wasn't dead, but I think most of us thought he was dead. So it wasn't as much of a revelation, I guess, as last week. So part of me feels like not as much went down, but it really did. If you think about it, you're right. It really moved the story forward. And I think it was important. I just, for whatever reason, some part of me felt like it wasn't as eventful. And I think it's just because the other episode had such a shock, Well,
and also we had all just rewatched the end of the previous season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of excitement. If we count the right, having just recently watched that, literally the hour before a lot of us watched the premiere, we watched that episode. So I feel it's coming on the heels of a lot of action. But that's a second episode sometimes for you.
Yeah. And I think also probably just because we were waiting so long for the premiere too,
Yeah.
We didn't wait that long. Not nearly as long as we wait for some of this crap.
True.
I guess that's true.
Came pretty fast.
Yeah. All right. Well, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once.
What did Dieter call?
What? Oh yeah. What?
In the chat, he says I called it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's referring to either. What did you call Dieter?
I don't even see that in the chat. Oh yeah, I see it. I don't know, but we can.
Yeah, let's get.
He can pop that in, and we can move along.
Yeah.
All right, so that looks like, is that the
That is the
clinic?
beginning.
That's the clinic, right? That's
the clinic. Yeah. Yeah.
In the clinic.
I was going to ask you guys, the one thing I wanted to ask you is, at this part anyway, do you think that she knocked him out, or do you think he just fell asleep? Because that was
Who's
the one
she?
thing
Who's
we had
she?
discussed.
Who's she and he?
Sophia. When Sophia touched him, some people had thought that maybe she made him fall asleep.
Oh no, I assume she killed him.
Wait, what? No, Kenny.
No.
I mean,
Oh, Kenny? No.
Yes.
Jamie, that's why instead of she and he, you got to talk about who you're talking about.
Okay, well, he is in the picture, so I assumed you knew I meant Kenny.
I'm sorry, but I can barely see a human in that very dark show. I didn't even really notice that Kenny was there in this picture we're looking at right now. No, I assumed he fell asleep. And if in last week's episode,
everybody's very tired.
She kills her father, we see her peek out the door to make sure he's sleeping.
Yeah.
If she was going to use magic, then she wouldn't maybe have to worry about him waking up. But she clearly approached that door, or even this shot, she approached that door last week and peeked and looked at Kenny to make sure he was sleeping before she went and had a conversation with the pastor she was about to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. I feel though, or at least I did before, I think this whole thing though was orchestrated because she wanted him to see it when he called, her going out now. It was all a put on, you know what I mean? I feel because I think that, the monsters aren't going to attack. That's kind of, I forgot what else I was going to say. I lost track of what I was going to say. Somebody, and I don't remember for sure who had suggested it, had said that maybe she was out of the clinic because she moved, put Jim's body in the barn. I assumed it was all just for show what she did. I hadn't really thought it through, but that actually makes sense because somebody had to do it. Was it one of the monsters? Was it Sophia? I don't really know, but I hadn't thought about it that way. What do you think?
So you think that's why she was outside?
No, I didn't think of that. That's what some people had said. I didn't it hadn't occurred to me. I thought it was just kind of all for show, for her to get him scared and think she was going to die, and she's so innocent and boo-hoo. I don't know.
I tend to agree with Jamie. I think that she certainly didn't go walking all traipsing around and dragging bodies around and doing all that. It would take hours, and Kenny could wake up at any time and notice she was gone. And Man in Yellow, if we're assuming that he's higher in the hierarchy than the monsters, his monster friends did it, right? Also, Jim's body, if we're going to see the shot, it appears to be further damaged than what Man in Yellow just ripped out, slashed his throat. Jim's chest appears to be attacked also, which other monsters might have done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was an interesting thought, though. My point is, I hadn't thought of that.
Interesting thought, but like Karen just said, Kenny could have woken up at any time, and then he would have been where the hell is she?
Yeah.
Plus, she could have been spotted by somebody.
She could have been painting on the barn, though, or that part.
Well, maybe we can discuss this when we get to that scene. But yeah, Kimberly also thought she was up to no good doing all that. That Kimberly thinks that Sophia was running the errands, not the monsters.
I definitely think the monsters ripped Jim apart. But
he's very lightly damaged compared to most people.
Well, his whole chest is cavities missing. I don't know that I call that lightly damaged.
I didn't think his whole chest cavity was missing, and he's not ripped apart. His body is in one piece.
He's not, you're right. He is in one piece, but well, I'll show you with it. He's got his whole chest has been ripped out, like we've seen before, because his whole rib cage is ripped apart. But yes, he is in one piece, so technically that's true. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna hit some stars here, and we're gonna come to you guys. Okay?
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back. All right.
I saw that. I took a picture because I thought of you guys. I'm I wonder if that's it could be a lock joke there. But anyway. But yeah, I just felt like the whole thing was for show, I guess, to make him think she was in danger when clearly she was never in any danger, to have a reason to worry about her, and to make him, endear herself to him, I guess, too, by her being the innocent.
You mean Jamie?
He's gonna take care of. I mean Kenny.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say you mean like to trigger a protective instinct in Kenny, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she's acting all innocent and like she's grieving and everything, so that way he's like, "Oh, poor Sophia" type of thing. Yeah. And like I said, I think that she wanted him to think that the monsters were going to get her, and like there was no chance of that happening. So yeah, I think the whole thing was just for show. But I mean, I get them buying it. She's believable, other than because we know the truth. So I get that but she shouldn't have ran out. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, I guess if you were freaking out because your father just died that way, you might too. I don't know, but she needs to learn the rules.
Like, there's no precedent for monsters walking among them in disguise inside a talisman protected room, right? And looking normal. Yeah. So, is it me or do her fingers look creepily weirdly long in this picture?
I think it's you. They don't look weird to me, so I don't know.
Fingers look really long.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe a little
Probably
bit.
because it's like so dark that you can't see anything, and then there's her glowing fingers on his sweater.
Yeah, it might be. Susie said a combo of gaining sympathy, connection, and just like the monsters like to play with people and freak them out. Yeah, it was fair. Nope, definitely. All right, so so the father is dead now. We knew that, but now everybody knows that. And then we have the opening scene with Elgin and Boyd, and Boyd saying to Elgin that he needs to talk to him. And it's really about him warning him not to tell anybody what he did, as he says, what we did, what you did, what we did. So I don't think he's so much worried about what Elgin did getting out. I think he's more worried about him torturing Elgin getting out. I don't know. How did you feel about that? I know we talked about some of this earlier during the interview, but.
Yeah, let's pause for a second, Jamie, and remind everyone in the chat, if you didn't know already, we interviewed the actor, Nathan Simmons.
Yes, we interviewed Nathan earlier, and you guys can still find it on the live tab. We talked about the scene with him, so make sure if you haven't that you guys check that out. And also, don't forget, tomorrow at 8 Eastern, we have Samantha Brown, who plays Acosta, coming too. So another interview. We got a lot right in a row. Yeah. So
I mean, I thought this scene was well acted, particularly on the part of Nathan Simmons, but also Harold Perrineau was great. I thought this, to me, I mentioned in the interview, this was my favorite scene of the episode. We might cut back and forth here, but this entire you can call it a discussion, a confrontation between the two of them was my favorite.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good scene. But yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, do you think Boyd really is worried about people finding out what Elgin did and blaming him for not doing something, or is he just more worried about people finding out what he did? I guess he could be worried about them finding out Elgin too, just because then they might be like, why didn't you put him in the box? So I don't know. I guess it could be both.
I mean, I know I have a pretty strong reaction there. AJ, what do you think?
So I feel like we didn't get enough. I feel like, there was a little defiance from him. But Elgin, like, he still, like, doesn't, to me so far, it seems like he still doesn't get it. Like, he still hasn't accepted the fact that what he did didn't help anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, an argument can be made that Fatima was better off with the kimono lady to deliver the baby, but
as her midwife, her zombie midwife.
Zombie midwife. But anybody could have helped. Would have seen what was going on. Christy could have done it. You know what I mean? Like, who knows how it would have. I mean, not for nothing, it would have been better because you could have killed him again, because he would have been out in the sunlight and instead of a dark, creepy cave for him to grow.
Yeah. I think, Jamie, that Boyd it is 0% worried about people knowing what Elgin did, except as far as it affects Boyd. He doesn't want. I don't think he really cares if people found out that like Elgin was like kidnapped, Fatima was influenced by the monsters, all the stuff. I think he only cares in the sense that he doesn't want people to find out that Fatima gave birth to a monster because it will reflect on Fatima, right? And then he certainly doesn't want people to find out that he tortured someone, right? And that what Sarah has done. Like he doesn't want all that to get his reaction as his reactions become more and more unhinged with each scene. But I don't think he really cares about Elgin or Elgin's well-being. He only cares that if if Elgin's actions come to light, there would be too many questions about Fatima.
Yeah, that's true. I do find it interesting, though, that he does seem to, and I guess I had thought maybe after the last episode he didn't so much, but at least Nathan's playing it like he does, so I guess he still thinks that like what he did helped and that there's a way out of this. Like it kind of baffles me a little bit that Elgin, look, I get if he's doing it because he's trying to convince himself what he did was right. That I can understand. But that he thinks that like that they're going to get to go home because she had the baby. He makes that comment in the previous episode. And it's like, when is this going to sink in, kid? You're not going home, you know? But yeah, I agree with what you said earlier, though. I do like that he sort of stood up to Boyd a little bit. And it's like, well, what if I don't want to do this? I could even see maybe in the future, and I said this earlier, that like maybe he feels guilty and he tells people because he doesn't care what happens to him. I mean, we don't know, but that would be a bad idea. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, though, to be fair, if people find out what Elgin did, though, they might wonder why Boyd didn't do anything about it. But I don't think it would matter as much as what, the other things. People love Fatima too, like he's killing several birds with one stone. Avoid all-out panic, despair, protect Fatima, protect Sarah, protect Elgin. Yeah, it's also kind of like I can force him not to tell about what she did by threatening him with this.
When I see that in writing, Susie's comment, it's interesting that Boyd has like set himself up to protect all the people who are being used. Fatima, Sarah, Elgin, like protecting all these people, which I think is not the Boyd we met in season 1, right? In episode 1, he put someone in the box who didn't really, he got drunk and left his family vulnerable. What that guy did in episode 101 is so much less than what all these 3 people have done, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Fatima, but.
Do you think, though, that he can forgive Elgin? Like you say, the town or whatever monster, whatever's talking to him, voices got him to do it. Like he didn't really do it to hurt Fatima. So I kind of wonder, like, can he get over it? Can Ellis get over it? I don't know the answer to that, but it's interesting because they do seem to forgive, or he does seem to forgive Sarah at this point, where before he wouldn't. And we've kind of moved on from that. I mean, maybe the rest of the town hasn't, but Boyd has. And so, yeah, what does he do to make up for that? Like she sort of made up for what she did almost by what she did to Elgin in a way, Yeah, I don't know. I just question like how they can all come back from this and move on from this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to hear what. I have a thought on that. AJ, do you have a thought on that?
No.
I feel like none of them directly did anything to Boyd's family, and because Elgin did something to Fatima is the reason why Boyd it holds him to a different category. Because okay, he kidnapped her and locked her in a base in the whatever that place was. On the underground cellar. Like it's not as bad as killing someone, but they didn't know where he put her. Like he could have put her outside and tied her to a tree so monsters could eat her. Like nobody knew where he put her until they tortured him to find out.
Yeah, and just because he said she was safe, I mean, she was safe. They didn't do anything to her, but he didn't know they weren't going to. Not really. He was taken a chance that they weren't going to hurt her. But I mean, it's no worse than what Sarah did. In fact, it's less than what Sarah did.
Like Boyd also knew that she's a killer, like, right? That she'd killed someone, and like Boyd's protecting her. I mean, the baby made her kill Tilly. Well, the monsters made Sarah kill people, right? Like what's the standard here?
It's
that's why I'm saying they made him do it too.
It's slightly different in the fact that Fatima had as an entity in her controlling her, whereas Sarah was told to do it. She was. I mean, Sarah's more like Elgin, where she was told, "Oh, do this, and I promise everybody's going to go home," and she just believed it. You know, she was naive, much like Elgin. Where with Fatima, nobody told her to kill Tilly. It was an impulse because of Smiley in her belly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's two good comments. It's true that Boyd never actually wanted to use the box. It was just a tactic to keep the town organized.
Yeah.
And it was pressure from Khatri that he actually used it and convincing him that it would take his ability.
Actually, no, because if you remember, it wasn't even. I mean, Khatri was saying you have to do it because you brought it up. Otherwise, people are going to, you know, I get Khatri's point, but it wasn't even Khatri. It was, what the hell is that guy's name? The guy who went in the box?
Oh, the guy, the father who was
I can't remember his name. Charlie?
Like, I deserve it. Put me in the box. I can't live.
He actually made the decision himself to go in the box.
Yeah.
Boyd was going to let him run.
Yeah, that's right. He tried to let him go.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah, Frank Pratt. The thing is I feel like when he put him in the box, though, it was for the good of the town, right? I think that it, in the sense that, like Khatri said to him, if he didn't do it, they wouldn't put faith in him, and couldn't he lead them?
Yes,
or whatever.
I agree with
punishment, not follow through.
But since then, it really hasn't mattered.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Him saying to Elgin, it's to stop the townspeople from, you know, losing hope or whatever, and breaking them up. It has nothing to do with that this time. I mean, I think he's definitely put his family above the town. That's why I don't know that he right now is in the mind to lead, because he is putting his family first. I'm not saying he necessarily shouldn't, because most people would put their family first, but that makes him maybe not the best leader. That he's doing that.
I got to tell you guys, you know, reading Susie's comment here about how everyone was after Sarah for a time. Yes, they were. She was really hated. And Elgin's way newer than she was. It's like the mass mob mentality. And everyone loves Fatima too. She got that good. I don't really get that everybody loves Fatima. Like, I get that she's been there a long, couple years and people like her, but I have not seen any of her actions in the last couple of seasons that she's like some kind of Mother Teresa of Fromville, like going around doing good work. Like, she gave somebody a sweater and a pillow, right? Like, okay, she's nice. But this, like, Fatima is the guiding light of our entire community thing. I just don't see it on the screen.
No, they've just told us that, and you're supposed to listen to it. Yeah. Yeah, but either way, yeah, everybody's the thing is they've all done something. Like, I do agree with what Susie said earlier. Like, it's all these things he's taking care of at once, in a way, because these are all issues. Like, there's what Sarah did, because maybe she should go in the box for that, in a way, and what Elgin did, but also what Fatima did. So it's hiding all of that. And I do think that probably at some point this is going to come out, like he said. And that's why I said I almost wouldn't be surprised if Elgin ends up telling people eventually, the way he I don't know. I don't even know why I feel like that, because I don't feel like he feels guilty for what he did. But I could see, like, later on down the road, him admitting it and causing like a bigger stir, because they would kind of, I mean, Boyd's not wrong that it wouldn't like mess up the town. I don't think that's why he said it, but he's not wrong that it wouldn't affect everybody. That's for sure. So.
All right, moving on.
All right.
Yeah. Moving on. Okay. I do like, though, he's like kicking the torture stuff under the bed, the hammer and everything.
Yeah, I don't really. Did you guys notice that he took the Polaroid and put it in that bag? And so I assumed he was going to take it away. Like the Polaroid has caused enough mischief. Let's get it out of here. And then he just shoved it all under the bed. Where
I did not notice the Polaroid until
at
someone
any
brought
moment.
it up yesterday. I just noticed him kicking the bag of torture tools. But yeah, somebody's gonna find that camera. It's like, as you would say, Chekhov's camera. Like, it's there. Somebody's got to find it, right? Now that it's there under the bed. Who knows? Maybe Elgin will come back and get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Potential issues that could cause whatever the girl in yellow said, the part where they tear each other apart. That reminds me, and I don't for the life of me remember who brought this up, but and she reminded me when she said that, it is interesting that when he says about the town, he actually says that it could, I don't have the quote, I'm trying to find it. He actually says it could tear the town apart. Like, he uses those words. And I wonder if it's meant to make you think of that and evoke that, because I mean, the man in yellow is kind of saying that they're all going to go after each other maybe eventually, which could be interesting storyline, I guess.
It's intentionally vague because it can be
Yes.
taken a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. But I hadn't thought about the fact he used those words. It's interesting that he chose those words to use. I think they definitely want us thinking about it. Whether it's the case or not, I don't know. But I think that it's like kind of in the back of your mind that way. Since he did say that.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have Good Morning by the Beatles, but it's not the Beatles version, and I don't for the life of me remember
I'm pretty sure it was Soul Asylum. Was that Soul Asylum did that cover?
That sounds right. Jen had looked it up. I don't remember it, but that sounds right.
Oh, no, wrong. It was Social Distortion, I think.
Maybe. I honestly, it isn't Beatles. That's all that matters. It's not the Beatles version. Which I get, because I kind of wondered when I heard it, like, could they really afford the Beatles on this show? Kind of doubted it. But I mean, I liked it.
It didn't sound remotely like the Beatles.
Well, I don't know Beatles really. I thought it sounded similar,
yeah.
but I didn't really know the song.
Yeah. I think it was Social Distortion.
It might have been.
Anyway.
Yeah. I like, though, how it played out. I don't know why Acosta fell asleep at the diner, though. Like, that's got to not be comfortable, right? It's going to hurt your back. That's a good question for her tomorrow. Doesn't that hurt your back laying on the bench? I'll tell you, the older you get, the more you think about that has to hurt. That's all I'm thinking. That would have killed my back.
I mean, I think she slept there because she doesn't belong in Colony House and she doesn't belong in the town. And she doesn't really want to be with anybody.
Yeah. I think she's alienating them herself, though. Like, I get what you're saying, that she doesn't belong there. She is kind of fighting with them, but I feel like she's causing a lot of that, the problem.
Yeah. She's hard to get along with.
Yeah.
And so, as usual, the jukebox is mocking her.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Samuel says, I think that Sophia will turn the townsfolk against the town's current leadership, and they might come with torches and pitchforks for Fatima and Sarah. Yeah, that would be interesting. I do kind of still feel like there's going to be a divide in the town. I think Harold Perrineau, I think it said something about that last season, that people are going to be split on what they think or something to that effect, which does make sense. Like, it's got to eventually come out, and it's got to, not everybody's going to feel the same, I would think. So it's interesting to find that out. Yeah, that's true, Kimberly. I like how she asked, talking about Sophia, I like how she asked Kenny who Boyd is all innocently. It was intentional. It was. All right. So then we have the Matthews family who is sleeping there, and Tabitha wakes up. And then Boyd we have in front of the Jasmine mirror, as we call it, which we won't get into. But yeah, they're all waking up, I guess, is part of the point of the song. And then he comes outside, he uses the binoculars, and he sees the bag. So you guys had not seen any of the trailers. So you had no idea this bag was coming. So let me ask you, what did you think about the bag? And I don't know, we were asking about it earlier. That was what Dieter was saying, I think.
Yes.
He was saying that
I start is coming.
Yeah, Jim wasn't in the bag and was in the barn. They gave away
Yeah,
too much in the trailer. It just means that he was going to be
yeah,
hanging up for now.
Yeah. When they're relevant.
So yeah, what did you guys think
Were
when
you
you saw the
saying that?
bag?
Saying this shot was in the trailer?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, as was Ethan running out towards the bag and Boyd grabbing him. Not that
Marketing
it really
people
told
are
anything,
such
but-
assholes. Why would they put like the dramatic moment of the show in the trailer?
Doesn't
Marketing-
really tell you what's in the bag, though. I mean,
It is
everybody knows.
it is the MacGuffin that drives the entire action of the episode, really.
All right, that's fair. That's true. I see
And
what
this
you
is
mean.
why Karen and I don't watch the trailers.
Okay, that's fair. See, to me, I don't think it's that big of a spoiler because you kind of assume Jim's dead. So to me, this wasn't a huge
Yeah, but
deal.
that's, I mean, so, all right. So somebody that has not seen the trailers, I saw the bag. It looks pretty bloody. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder if Jim's chopped up in there. And as the scene progresses, I was like, I actually looked at Damon and I said, that's not Jim. That's a goat.
And you guessed too much. What did you think, Karen?
I mean, I felt it was too small to hold the body of a full-grown man, and that unless they had put him through some kind of a wood chipper, it couldn't be Jim's body or Jim's entire body in that bag.
When they showed it from far away, I originally, back when I saw the trailer, thought it was like maybe his head or something. But when they show it closer, it does look bigger. So it's kind of
It is fairly big, but I agree. It wasn't. I don't think it was big enough to put his whole body in. It was actually funny because did anybody else when Ethan said he screamed what's in the bag? Did anybody else yell what's in the box? Sorry.
Yeah, 7. I hadn't thought of that till now, but that's funny. Yeah, I forgot about that.
A lot of people in the chat thought it was the dog or Alma the goat. But yeah, I thought it couldn't be Jim's body because it was just too big. It's too small. It's too big to just be a head. It's too small to be the full body. I do like the way they hoisted it from the sign so that it is visible from every place. You can see it from Colony House. You can see it from downtown. Like they put it there so that every single person in that town would see it when they came out in the morning, right? For maximum.
Yes. I mean, I think if nothing else, this really proves how much they're just all about causing as much pain as they can too. Because they could have just left his body. Like this was done specifically because they knew that they would think the body's in there. Look, I know that they had no way of knowing that Tabitha would have sent the kids to the barn specifically, but it definitely was a bait and switch.
Unless someone is a story walker, Man in Yellow has walked the story and seen it happen, or somebody, right? Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah, they also know that Ethan goes to the barn to feed the goats and stuff, so it might be a thing like, well, that's calming for him. They'll send the kids there. I guess you could probably presuppose.
Maybe they took a 50-50 shot and said Ethan goes to the barn a lot. Let's,
Yeah. But either way, it was done for maximum horror and pain. Like, I mean, it was done to be cruel, and it was so cruel. I know as soon as I realized that he wasn't in the bag, I'm like, oh, that's awful. That was just awful.
I was kind of glad
I just want to put up Kimberly's comment real quick because of what I said. She said the same thing.
Yeah.
I think they were inspired by 7. Maybe. That's funny. I hadn't even thought about that until you said that, but now that's all I'm going to think about. Let's see, I lost that.
Right. So anyway, so Tabitha looks out the window and she sees like this commotion happening, right? And Jim is home, so she's going to run outside and.
Yeah. And she obviously has to stop them from going out because they think it's him. I find it interesting, though, that Susie kind of felt the opposite, that having the kids go there alone, knowing he was probably in the bag, was kind of more impactful if they didn't think so.
No, she's talking about the barn. That's why we skipped that question until we get to the barn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it meant the bag. My bad. Okay, we'll go to that then we get to the barn. All right. So...
Sorry, I'm like OCD about that.
No, I thought that's what she said. I probably read it wrong. I
apologize for my vehemence.
That's okay. I do want to ask you guys though, like she sends them to the barn and then she wants to be the one that opened it and she's like tells Boyd to wait. why wouldn't you let somebody else open it? Like, I was kind of like, why would you want to be the one to look in the bag? I don't know. That to me, I was like, why? Let them
Because she
look in the
needed
bag.
to be.
Because she had to be. She needed to be the one to do it and see it. Like, does she feel? Maybe she feels like she owes him that.
Or maybe to believe it. Maybe it wouldn't feel real if she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe like there's a bit of, I mean, she has not yet seen the graffiti, but does she feel a level of guilt or responsibility here if it's him?
Well, yeah, considering the conversation the last time she saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told him she needed space. And probably wishes she hadn't said that. So then we have that it is the male goat. It's not Alma, which is the only thing that, other than it being Jim, really mattered. Which I think it would have been like a double whammy if it had been Alma. I actually kind of am surprised it's not. But I guess maybe they're like, if we do that, we might give people like Jamie a heart attack.
I think you guys are a little more invested in the goat than most people.
That would have been too
I don't
much.
really care.
No, but that would have been even more cruel. But I'm glad it wasn't.
Care which goat is in there. Did you do your deep dive this tomorrow night? Right.
That was last night.
That was last
You
night.
were there.
Yeah, but I joined you at least an hour late, and I'm kind of glad I did because I assumed Scarlett was probably honking that goat for like an hour.
No, actually, she didn't. So the one time you weren't there, she didn't.
Yeah,
she didn't. That's funny.
Ethan seems to have a sense immediately. He's like, "Is that Dad? Is that Dad? Is that Dad? Is that Dad?" I mean, Dad's been gone. It's obviously like who's unaccounted for. 46 people are there, and Jim is not. Right, so. I mean, Ethan's jumped to the conclusion.
Well, I think they're all thinking it. I think everybody that isn't them is trying not to say it because they don't want to make it worse. And I think Julie is trying not to say it for the same thing because Ethan's there. Yeah. But that was really awful. But you gotta love Julie's screaming faces, right? I swear, like they see her scream and then they give her these kind of scenes just because that girl can scream, right? That's great. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I make fun of it now because like we've seen it and I laugh about it. But I mean, I definitely felt it, and I definitely was affected and thought the scene was done really well. I don't mean that it wasn't. I just think it's funny now when you look at screenshots. Oh, sorry, I was gonna put the other thing on. I still freaked out though. The kids going there alone, knowing he was probably in there, was kind of more impactful than if I didn't think so. Honestly,
so I get it because Susie had seen the trailer, and you guys feel that the trailer gave away. They showed the bag and they showed the barn, right? And you guys felt you could anticipate that in the barn. So okay, so I get that. So there's like a foreboding that was built up for those of you guys who kind of expected it.
Yeah, I think people either thought it was, a lot of people thought it was the dog. I don't know why people thought it was the dog. I never understood why people were saying that. There was some kind of photo that made it look like a dog. The photo showed fur. To me, that wasn't proof of anything. So I don't know, but
the dog's a ghost.
Yeah, and it hasn't been seen since like a million years.
Yeah, I agree with you, but a lot of people had thought that. I just want to put this up because I hadn't thought about that. I have a feeling Alma's going to watch all her animal friends die, even though Ethan wanted her to die first. They did have a conversation about that where he said he didn't want her to watch them all die. So that's kind of some bad irony there. That I
or intentional.
Yeah, I'm sure. Why are we talking? What are we talking about?
We're not.
No, I'm just reading what they're talking about.
It's not a relevant conversation.
Oh.
All right.
Julie screams, hugs Ethan. And the one thing I did say last night is that I do appreciate that because Tabitha's in shock that Boyd sort of took over not that he's like a father to them, but sort of that parental, like he took over, I got to protect these kids and get them away from there. Like he tried to fix it.
He is a father. He did raise a child.
No, right. But I mean, I'm not saying he's like a father to them per se. I'm just saying in this moment it took over and he.
He's the father of the town and Donna's the mommy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I I guess they must be talking about her highlights. I said that last night because she does have like really good highlights for being gone for months.
That's not what they're just talking. No, it's not.
Okay,
hair
well,
is not the focus of this scene.
Okay, well, I'm still allowed to think it.
You are.
All right. Anyway, I like that he stepped up. Was my point with that.
I thought so. Julie's scream is getting a lot of praise, as it should. I thought Tabitha's scream in the scene was pretty excellent. Also, when she says, "Why did they do this? Why?"
Yeah, they were both really good.
I want to know why they hung him upside down.
Well, I was going to get to that. That's from her dream/vision in the lighthouse when she's seen him hung upside down.
What she did?
Oh, wow. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Everybody's been saying, I think, since the end of last season that they were going to find him hanging upside down for that reason, that they had maybe foreshadowed this clear back then. And clearly they did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's also like the tarot card too. We went into that, but see, because you can see the way his leg is too. But if you look, his whole chest is like the ribs are.
I have to enlarge that because I didn't see it on my 55-inch screen. And that's his
little rib cage. Yeah.
It's light. My light
it's more noticeable later. It's more noticeable
long.
later when after they bring him into the church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a real long, like you didn't get to see him that long. So I guess.
Oh my God, you guys, I just turned off my ring light and I can see so much better.
Well, that would help, Karen. All right.
So there's the screaming Tabitha. Why did they do this to him?
I was so like wanting to yell at Jade though. Like, why aren't you going to Tabitha? Look, I'm not a shipper like a lot of people with them, but I still was like, you're just standing there, like, do something, help her. I felt like he was just
maybe
because
Jade was in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock too. But that was like my first thoughts. Like,
maybe he realizes she doesn't need somebody comforting her right now. Sometimes people don't want to be bothered in a moment like this.
Right, that's fair.
And the night before, she was like, "Get away from me! I don't know if it's real. I need to think about this. Give me some space."
That's true. There's the other goats. Knowledge comes at a cost. I don't know. Boyd went to her. I guess I was just kind of like it was Boyd and not Jade. It just seemed odd that Jade's become like close to her and didn't.
I don't know that Jade is close to her. I mean, they've been working.
Not close. I don't mean close in like a romantic sense. I just mean like they've been close.
I don't mean close even in a friendship. They've been working together, but he's a very abrasive and annoying person who her husband hates. And I until yesterday, and I don't really know that I have seen a supportive friendship that she'd find comfort from him.
All right, fair.
But other people might see it differently on the screen. Some people might have seen something developing that I just didn't see. And you guys could be right.
I just feel like they've been spending a lot of time together that I thought he would have been more supportive, I guess. Look, Jade is always.
Have you met Jade?
I was going to say Jade is always thinking about Jade, so that's a fair assessment.
I spend a lot of time with people at work, and I don't want them hugging me. And right, like they're like a working relationship. These two kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Jade is. I don't know why people have to always, just because these two were married 200 years ago or however many years they've been coming back here. Doesn't mean that they need to be in a relationship. And
no,
I'll be honest. I thought Jade was gay. I thought that was established in season 1. Maybe not.
Maybe he's bi. I don't know. They did kind of hint at that. I thought too, but that was a long time ago. I don't know. But no, I didn't mean it for that reason. I guess since they did have Boyd approach her, I just assumed, even from like a writing perspective, I just was sort of surprised like that it was Boyd and not Jade. I don't know. But yeah,
and Jade is in shock. Jade hasn't stopped staring at Jim.
Jade is selfish, so there's that too.
I mean, I think that it is in the later scene. It becomes clear that Jade did the right thing by not.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there. She would not have appreciated it very much. I don't think there. All right, so now I
only want to punch her in the face, and it's only her second.
I do too.
Yeah, I love. You know what though? I'm sorry. She is so good though. Like she goes from like tears running down her face to like that evil smile in like a fraction of a second. Like you said, you're like, no, you want to punch her. She's really good. I think she's really good at playing that like evil, smarmy, we want to slap her, like, because she's doing a good job.
I think it's an unsubtle performance. I think it's a bit much and over the top, but it's only the second episode, and I may come to appreciate her performance better.
I think it's supposed to be, though. I think that's kind of the point, because you got to think about it. What we got from the Man in Yellow, and kind of the puppeteer.
He's unsubtle.
Yeah,
he's definitely unsubtle. That's for sure. I think too, if she's too subtle also, then nobody will notice. And I feel like eventually we want somebody to notice, right? Because somebody's got to figure out. I know we talked about that last night when you weren't here. We were saying, would Sarah be the one to figure it out? Would Elja be the one? Would Victor be the one? I feel like at some point somebody has to notice something's up. So either way, I liked her performance. And then we have Kenny here. And although this part was a little like sus, where they're talking about her father being dead, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'll go take you for glasses. She's like, okay. Like she sort of got over it really quick, didn't she? Yeah, I mean, the scene had to move along, but it was kind of funny the way that she did that. Now, this is where that other comment went that I thought had gone here, saying, and I don't know where it's at now.
I'll find it. You speak, I'll look.
Yeah. For it. How she's like, oh, who's Boyd? And then she's like, oh, he seems so kind. Like she clearly knew who he was talking about.
Well, of course.
Very calculated
can't let that on.
Like that. Yeah, but I kind of like that she was calculated like that. But yeah, I don't know. She very quickly was like, okay, I'll go with you to the storeroom, even though I'm like in the middle of a crisis. I'll go. But they have to move along.
I mean, maybe you could attribute that to shock, that different people respond to their parents' death differently.
They do. That's fair.
I'm gonna find it. I'm still looking for it, but
I think it was Kimberly, but I'm not 100%. I think it was Kimberly that said it.
Why didn't you star it?
I thought we did. Honestly,
whoever said it, you. Anyway,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway, okay, so they're gonna go to the storeroom. And then we have this was really sad, where Ethan's like breaking down. Like, I get it. I kind of felt like I didn't know how to feel. Like, part of me felt bad for Tabitha because of the things he's saying, but then the other part of me is like, she should understand that he's trying to, like, he has to blame somebody. He's hurt, right? So she shouldn't have been like so offended that he said the things he said. Like, he's a kid, he's upset, he's angry, he doesn't know what to do, and he's lashing out, and it's totally normal. And I feel like she got too upset over it, but she's also in shock and upset too. So
is she offended? Like, she raised Julie. I'm pretty sure Julie has told her, I hate you 1,000 times.
Right. But I mean, AJ, we weren't fighting.
AJ's on his third teenager. Have you heard that in your house before? I hate this place and I hate you. I think it's a common teenager, right?
She just was so. I guess my point is she was defensive, because she told Julie we weren't fighting. Like, and she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it nobody cares. Like, that's not why he's really yelling. And she didn't seem to. Like I said, I get she's grieving too, but
it's still hurtful, and he said it to be hurtful.
Yes, but he's also what, 9, 10? So
he's. Yeah. I mean, there's a time and a place where that kind of talk might earn you smack across the face.
I think if that happened in here, people would have more of a problem with it.
I mean, he's accusing her of it being, it's her fault that he didn't come home and all the stuff, which is ludicrous because Jim knew enough to find a place to go. It's not her fault. Like, it's not like Jim's like, oh, I guess I'll sit in this field and die because Tabitha and I had a fight.
But I think he just needed somebody to blame. I don't think he really thinks it's her fault. I think he's just, upset, mad, yelling. Like you said, you've heard the, I hate you before. It's not uncommon.
Yeah. I guess we've gone astray, but I feel like the criticism of Tabitha in this scene and in general, I find to have been a lot of piling on.
Yes, we had quite a discussion last night, AJ, about is Tabitha a bad parent? But we had.
Apparently, I'm the only person who does not consider her a neglectful parent.
Maybe if the kid did what he was fucking told, they wouldn't have to look for him all the time.
Yeah, he's like
There's that.
I found Kimberly reposted it. She said the Boyd comment I made was that I thought it was intentional to act innocently and coy, and then she was going to stir the pot. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All right.
But it was getting dark.
I didn't do anything was the point. She didn't do shit by looking for him. She didn't. You're not wrong.
What do you
They
mean?
did sort of like, I don't know. Did you not feel last week? I can't remember what you guys said, if you agreed or not. A lot of people, myself included, kind of felt like they didn't. It was still light out. They should have went and looked for him, and they were just kind of like, "Oh, Jim's not here."
It was getting dark. It was getting dark.
It was like 10 minutes from sunset.
I guess, but do you not remember all the other times when one of them's been gone that the kids have like flipped out and they've had to like restrain them to stop them from going to look for him, and it's Jim. And they're like,
Listen, it was 10 minutes before sunset. Jim has been here long enough now to know to hide somewhere and get cover, and it didn't matter because he was already fucking dead.
Well, but they didn't know that.
No, they didn't know that. But again, how many times have people been out and about and they're, and they don't go looking for him either? I mean, it gets dark quick in this place. You gotta remember, this is a weird town where full days aren't always full days. As soon as it starts getting dark, it's gonna be dark soon.
I guess Tabitha didn't seem very concerned to me. Not like she should have been, but I think it was like she kind of couldn't be in a way because we already knew he was dead, so it didn't really.
I mean, do you think maybe she would want to freak out and make her children more nervous? Or
and let's not forget.
Okay.
And let's not forget, where do they look? They don't even know where to look. You're gonna take all right, everybody. Jim, we don't know where Jim is. It's getting dark. He's usually home by now. Everybody fan out. They couldn't find Fatima, who was in a fucking root cellar. And you gotta remember, this town is bigger than what we perceive on TV. Like, everybody might get places quickly because nobody wants to watch somebody walking for half an hour. I
tell you what, when we go to Fromville, Jamie, and someone's missing, you go look, and AJ and I'll stay home and wait.
I'm not the person you want looking for people because I won't either. I may say that, but I wouldn't either.
I mean, I think
if you were my husband, I would have, but
I mean, I think if Tabitha, what are her choices? To go out by herself and look for Jim, or to stay home and prevent her child from going out by himself and looking for Jim? I think she made the right choice.
I'm not saying she made the wrong choice. I just feel like, and even I see Jen agrees with me, like she didn't seem that concerned. It was the way they played the scene, I think. But I also feel like maybe they didn't bother because we all knew already. Like, I don't know if it would have landed the same even if they did have
or and this is a really far out notion, maybe Tabitha had faith in Jim that he knew to get inside somewhere.
All right. Oh, I see that.
Actually,
he is an adult.
For the past 2 months that they've been.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. He's an adult. He knows what's out there. He knows what can happen. Maybe she just figured, hey, he's capable of taking care of himself.
I mean, look, is it possible he tripped in a hole and broke his ankle and was like stuck out there and needed help? Yeah, but I mean, she's got this like unreliable child who runs out the door every 5 minutes, right?
Right, exactly.
And I think, she doesn't seem concerned, but I think the right thing to do is to not let the children know you're terrified and to say, Dad, I'll be okay. He knows what to do.
That is a good point.
He'll find a place. Like,
think about it.
Like, oh, I'm so worried about your father. What if he's dead? Like, what good does that do?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Jim was so, not paying attention to Ethan, and he ran out after his mother. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Ethan does not listen.
I feel like
no, Ethan does not listen. You're right about that.
I feel a little bit like we might be ganging up on Jamie right now. So, all of you are entitled to how you read the scene, and 2 against 1.
Yeah, I need to put one thing. No, but I said I think that would also read differently because we knew he was dead. Like, maybe if we didn't know that, we wouldn't have felt the same. I don't know.
Jen, this is correct, but you don't have a phone to call, and like you don't go out and just drive randomly around the entire town all night when you don't know where to look. I mean, she knows where she left him, and it's kind of far. Like the RV's kind of far, right?
Yeah, I guess
I don't know how. You know what? I'm going to put this in perspective. I don't know how old our chatters are, but there was a time there was no cell phones. That's what being in From is like. And in the 80s that I grew up in, if somebody didn't know where somebody was, the general consensus was, they'll turn up.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. Like that was.
I just wonder if we would have felt differently if we didn't know his fate already. Like I feel like I'm saying
I get
maybe
what you're saying there,
I'm being more hard on her because I already knew he was dead. Like maybe if I didn't know that, I would have.
So if we didn't know he was dead, would we have been more worried? And would we have read her?
Yeah, I don't know.
Worried or not been worried because people like me who don't like Jim and.
Yeah. I mean, look, I didn't love Jim before either, but now I feel kind of bad. Like I didn't hate him, but he was sometimes annoying. To be fair,
Jim had flaws, but I didn't hate the guy.
No, I didn't want him to die.
I didn't like him, but he doesn't deserve to have his throat ripped out and be strung up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh, I didn't think about that. We didn't look at I'm assuming his neck was ripped out too, but I didn't even could you tell his neck was ripped out?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Not in the barn scene. Not in the barn scene because of the way his head was, but you can see it. You can see it better when he's in the church.
When you hang upside down, your shirt collar rides up.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean we knew. I just was thinking about it and wondering. 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Commercials.
Yep.
Yep. And the 80s was crazy, but not as crazy as Fromville. Yeah. All right, they got some problems there. All right, so Donna. Oh, sorry, I skipped one. I'm going the wrong order. Okay, so Donna comes in and she is just like gonna go talk to them. I wish they had given her more to do in this episode. I really do. But they take the body, and I know what
to do, and she failed.
Yeah.
I
don't blame her for Ethan right away. Ethan's Ethan. I don't blame her for that.
I blame Acosta.
Yeah, because Ethan was gone. Yeah, that's true. Look, I know you guys don't like the deep dive, so we won't go into the whole thing with the shoes that I know people are gonna comment on. We'll just skip that for now. You guys heard me and Scarlett go into it a lot at length yesterday, so yeah, this is where Boyd says, asks what knowledge comes at a cost means, and Jade's like, I got to talk to you. Yeah, we got to talk. Okay. Now, this part I got to ask you guys because it drove me nuts. She says to Kenny, I know how I'm sorry, I heard about Jim. I know how close you two are. Since when are Kenny and Jim good friends? I know they went to Cannibal Village together. I still did not consider them good friends. This just was like one of those things that drove me nuts because I didn't get it.
It's actually funny. I made a comment about that to Damon while we were watching it. When I was like, they've been here 3 weeks, maybe a month. How close could they be?
Well, when you're under threat of death 24 hours a day, maybe it bonds you a little bit more. I don't know.
I guess, but I never felt the closeness between Kenny and Jim.
I agree. I
thought it was a strange comment, but it is what it is. But yeah, she does tell them, and then she says she can take Sophia to the storage closet herself. And Kenny says okay and lets her go, and then he goes after to see Boyd. All right, so then we go to Jade and his wall of work and trying to figure things out, wall of puzzles. We had talked about, we don't have to belabor it here, but about his different timeline of, trying to figure out how long the loops are and, when they start and end and all that. That's what that timeline is about. And you can read a good portion of it. It's also asking if there's going to be future cycles.
He just found out that there was a loop like yesterday. He just found out that he's reincarnated yesterday.
Yes.
So when did he make a timeline of all the loops?
Well, he's Jade. He's constantly, I think, working on
Very
the puzzle.
smart. He's very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. But yeah, he's trying to figure it out. That's the thing, though, that kind of gets me. Like, he's basically saying, Jim got killed because we wouldn't stop, and I'm not stopping. Like, it's kind of what he's saying, right? Because he's still got all this research that he isn't stopping, which I actually think is kind of funny in a weird way. In a Jade way. Like, it makes sense for Jade, but it's just funny because he's busy standing there telling Boyd, I think it was our fault because we were looking and trying to figure things out, and I'm still doing it.
I agree with you, but the alternative is what Christy says later is like, there's no way out. And she seems to be just resigned to living here until she gets murdered. Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm with Jade.
I'm
with Jade. What? I'm sorry Jim died, but if 3 more people die and I get the other 40 out.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. I just think it's kind of funny the way they're having this conversation. Well, honestly, Jade hasn't even made progress, which answers what's he found. I'm assuming that was what has he found. Well,
it's always Tabitha, right? It's always Tabitha. Maybe the root
figured out. He kind of figured out the music. Jim figured out the part of it, and then he kind of put it together.
But Jim figured out that it is music. Without Jim, Jade gets nowhere.
Right.
Yes. But I don't know what if Tabitha figured it out. Tabitha. Really
hold on. If Jade isn't doing all this to begin with, Jim doesn't even get involved in the conversation if Jade doesn't have all the bottles with all the letters in it.
I feel like most clues have been Tabitha. Tabitha found the tree. The kids come to Tabitha. They don't really come to Jade. They're all like, and cooey, like around Tabitha. They don't really like it's Tabitha. I mean, Jade is good at putting pieces together and having theories. He's like the Elon Musk of the operation, that everybody else does all the work and then he has a vision.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Jade went down. Jade went into the tunnels and saw the kids on the slabs with the
he did
symbol above. I mean, he's had a lot more visions than Tabitha has. Tabitha has recently had more visions, but
no, I mean he's a vision. I mean like vision writ large. Like other people like find puzzle pieces, and he's like, "Oh look, it's a puzzle of 2 kittens. I can see the picture forming." That's what I think his role is.
He's the one that puts. That's what I said. They find the pieces and he puts them together.
Yes, thank you, Jamie.
I like Samuel said. I think Sarah's the last person Kenny wants to be consoled by.
I was waiting. Yes. Just that. I was waiting till we saw Kenny again. Sorry, Samuel. I wasn't trying to skip you. I just want people to think I'm trying to skip them. I was holding.
Well, we already seen Kenny and her together. I don't think they're together again, are they?
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's why I put it up. Sorry. But yeah, Kenny does not want to talk to Sarah, so it's definitely not that. Samuel also said Jade gives me crypto bro pyramid scheme vibes.
Yes.
That's great. More than Miranda, Tabitha used to be. She didn't learn. I'm assuming that is learn anything. She didn't learn anything. Yeah. Look, it was a team effort. Let's just say it was a team effort. Either way, the point of this scene is he's telling Boyd it's our fault that it happened. And this is where he's like, work harder. Like, that isn't very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Ellis says they are not being useful again, really. There's some of the close-ups of that.
It's a lot to take in if you have not yet seen Jade's Wall of Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yes, very true. But yeah, this is where Boyd, where'd he go? He tells him he's working on it. And he's like, work harder. It's like, that's not really helpful, is what I would have said.
Yeah, really. Like that's
but he's questioning, are they 40 some years? The cycles is what his thoughts are. Which makes sense.
Well, I mean, what is that based on their age, maybe?
Based on the different dates of the visions they've seen and everything. And it also has a lot too about like when he thinks the buildings were made, like based on what kind of building they are and things like that.
Well, I do have some questions about those buildings, but I can hold them.
He's seen Civil War soldiers. I think it's been a little longer than 40 years.
No, 40 years a cycle. He's talking about in between.
Oh, well, yeah. No, see, that makes sense because you have to die first to come back.
Yeah, because it says right here, Civil War era, 1861 to 1865.
Okay.
Industrial Revolution. He's going by when things, the Redstones, when he thinks the diner and the motel were built. There's a lot you can.
Gotcha.
It's very interesting. It's maybe for some of us it's a little TMI, and for others it's a treasure trove. I thought Boyd was out of line. Oh, we're getting some. Did you guys hear that echo? It's
my monitor went weird for a second. I think it's okay now.
I thought it's not
Nope,
okay. I'm
your
gonna
monitor.
mute you while I talk, okay? I thought Boyd was out of line. I thought he was kind of mean when he said, well, work harder, after Boyd's really he's done nothing to help the mystery because he kind of didn't know, like he didn't even know what Jade was doing. And then but I think in this episode, we see Boyd is mean to everyone, right? Like Boyd is losing his control and he's being a dick to everyone he speaks to.
Well, you know what? I think kind of with Boyd, and that I took it in that scene, like, yeah, he's being a dick, but it's like he didn't know what else to say to it. Like it was so much new information, and I think that's why Boyd was just like, we'll work quicker.
Yeah. Jamie, can you come back?
There it goes. Something was weird. I don't know. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Yeah. For some reason, I think when my monitor goes wiggy like that, it's turning on the other microphone and it's picking up.
I hear you now.
Okay, good. As long as it's not doubled.
Jen agrees. Oh, Jen and I have not been agreeing very much on this episode, but we agree now. This episode, Tabitha and Boyd shit on Jade.
They did. Yeah, especially because Boyd's kind of like saying that to him, and Jade's the one that's doing the work, and Boyd isn't doing anything but standing around in that point, you know?
I mean, Boyd has been doing a lot of heavy lifting in this town for a long time.
Right. But I mean, with this puzzle, like he's basically saying that Jade needs to work harder. Jade's the one that's been doing it, Jade and Tabitha.
Yeah, but I mean, in Boyd's defense, it's not that Boyd hasn't been doing anything. Boyd didn't know this puzzle existed until this very moment, right? So I don't blame Boyd for not contributing. I do blame Boyd for being a dick to the people that propose this piece of work.
Yes, it's for him saying that. All right. So now we go to the diner. Every time I watch this scene, I feel a little different because at this point I was like really mad at Acosta and annoyed at her the way she's being kind of bitchy. But I also kind of, the more I think about it, like get that she doesn't want to talk to Sarah and why she doesn't want to talk to Sarah. So I don't know. How did you feel that she's like, I'm not your friend. Don't talk to me like one. She seems like she's got a chip on her shoulder, but maybe she has a right to. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I think Acosta's worse than Randall in the sense of not accepting things. I mean, Sarah was just trying to be friendly and be like, hey, are you okay? I think Acosta didn't need to bite her head off, but Acosta is just like, she acts like nobody has ever tried, the whole conversation in the ambulance coming up, she is another one that thinks she's gonna. But to be fair, Jade was like that in season 1 too. I feel like Acosta is being even more. I don't know. She's just.
I just wonder if she has to be so bitchy to do it. Like there was a big part of me who was kind of getting annoyed with her in this episode because she's not being very nice. But I kind of get it at the same time. That's why I said I feel both ways.
It's her character. It's how she is. I mean, think about her on the ambulance when from the start. This has been how she is. So she's totally in character for what for who she is. She's just a bitchy person in general.
Yeah, she just might not be a nice person, and Randall is kind of not a nice person, or at least Randall was putting on a front that he's not a nice person. He actually can be a little nice. I think Acosta's just not a nice person, and it stands to reason that not every person who gets sucked into this town is going to be nice, right?
Yeah.
I do think also she has a chip on her shoulder and she's kind of in denial. She knows, then I remembered, she knows that Sarah knows Boyd tortured. I'm trying to remember. Did she leave before? She doesn't. Does she know that Sarah took out Elgin's eye? I don't know if she knows that, but she knows Sarah was
sitting there when Christy was fixing her eyes. So yeah, she knows.
Yeah.
All right, so she knows that Sarah, like. Actually, I guess what I don't get is if she knows, why isn't she telling people? Like, she's so incensed at what Boyd has done, but she doesn't tell anyone in the town. And she's not.
I thought about that too.
Not like, get away from me, Sarah, you psycho eye-removing nut job killer. It's just like, we're not friends. Don't talk to me, right? So, Alyssa says, I think Akasa's main issue with the ambulance is that she hadn't went in the loop, and what she said about being a good person, and thinks maybe she can get out because everyone else deserves to be there. Oh, like torturers and murderers deserve to be there, but she's a good person, so she deserves to get out. Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of what she's seen is a group of people not really being nice to each other.
Yeah. But I'm going to recommend that she read a little book called When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Yeah. Like, she doesn't deserve to get out more than other people do, right?
She thinks she does.
But she's really, like, she was really, a lot of this episode is people being mean to other people just because they can. And they're like articulating their fear and their frustrations and other things as like really spiteful, hateful things they're doing to each other. And maybe this is the beginning of them tearing the town apart.
I was just going to say, and this is why this is his favorite part.
Yeah. I didn't think about that though. You're right. This episode is full of people being really bitchy, isn't it? To everybody else. You got people blaming each other and yelling at each other. They're not in good moods in this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Akasa's comments sound like a religious person swears that their good deeds will get them into heaven. Kind of does.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So now we have Julie and Ethan. Julie thinks Ethan's asleep. I don't know. I kind of felt like, really? You're leaving him there? But, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, you were there with him because he needed you, and now you're taking off too.
She has her own grief. She has her own, asking a bereaved person, this is like the one drowning person will take down the other person, right? Like, she has an equal amount of grief to his.
It is true, but it's also the fact that I think right now Ethan's like mad at his mom and blaming her and can't talk to his mom, and I think she was the one that was helping him.
But why is that her responsibility?
It's not.
Yes.
I'm just saying I felt kind of bad that she left. That's all.
He's
him.
asleep.
He was asleep.
Well, he wasn't asleep, but she.
Okay, because he was faking it. I mean, to be fair, he wanted her to leave so he could sneak out.
All right.
Which is why he pretended to be asleep.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, maybe that's why he did it too. I didn't think about that.
The person to blame is the adult in the house, Donna, who was told to look out for him.
No, we're not gonna blame Donna. Donna was downstairs.
I don't blame Donna for not.
Costa drove by with the ambulance.
Yeah. All right, whatever.
Also, he willfully went behind and snuck around Donna. It wasn't like he didn't know.
Do that. You should expect that of a child to willfully disobey.
Who was sleeping? The child who was sleeping.
Yeah.
All right. So either way, Julie comes to go for a walk, and Donna tries to get her to stop, but she won't listen. But Donna is like, if you need anything, tell me. She's very much trying to be helpful. But
yes, I mean, I would also say in Julie's defense in this case, she didn't just leave to go for a walk. She kind of believes that at this moment she can save her father.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we all knew what she was going to try and do, I think.
Yes, we did. But I mean, I think she, like, we can't give Elgin a pass and say he thought he was doing the right thing and then criticize Julie here and she thinks she's doing the right thing.
True. Muncher Luncher says dude's 15. I think he's like 10 or something, isn't he? I forget how old Ethan's supposed to be. The actor may be older, but he's not supposed to be. All right. So then we have
gratuitous workout scene, gratuitous muscle scene.
I'm not complaining. Okay, we have Randall here, and at first he's a dick too to her, but then he does figure out something's wrong, and he's a little bit nice.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the fact that it took me a second to realize, oh shit, he doesn't even know Jim's dead.
Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't have acted like that. But he agrees to help her. as I said last night, I like that he's like trying and he's kind of stepping up and helping Julie when she needs it. I appreciate that. Like I said, it doesn't redeem him, but yeah, I like that he's trying to be a bit nicer.
You know what the thing is, though? I think because Julie's the only one that has never treated him like a pariah. So I think he's the type of person that, he was a pain in the ass when this all first started and he thought he knew better than everybody. But even after, people are kind of, still treat him like a dick. And he doesn't always deserve it. So I think that's why with Julie, he's a little different.
Yeah, well, honestly, yes. I don't know that I know a lot of people don't like him, but I don't know that he does always deserve it because, like, he was one of the first ones that ran to help Tabitha and Jim when the house collapsed. He helps the kids and I think Sarah, I forget, whenever the bus, he helps them get on the bus. And also, it was when he got hurt, like it was because he went to get the tools to get Tabitha released from the ambulance.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, he has tried to help people. He comes off so abrasive that people
look. He can be both things can be true. He can be good in a crisis.
Yes.
And still be a dick, right?
And good.
And I think I agree, Jamie, that I sometimes feel bad for him. I agree, Jamie, that I sometimes feel bad for him, but you can't treat everyone like shit and then like be sad and lonely when they avoid you. True. I mean, you can, but like he earned people not wanting to be around him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But my point is I feel like he's trying a bit more. He's not being such a dick now. But you're right. He's not around other people. So maybe if it wasn't Julie, he would be. I don't know. Yeah. Either way, I like that he's trying.
I mean, I don't hate his character. I think he, if he could integrate a little better, he's capable and useful.
He's also the only one that thought to use a winch to open the car and get the guy.
Yeah. I mean, and for the record, real quick, Simon Webster is 13
in real life, which means he could have been like 12 when he shot this, or even 11 when he shot this scene.
Yeah.
Yes, but he's also supposed to be younger, I think.
Well, yeah, the character's supposed to be, because they've only been there like a month.
Yeah. All right.
As long as we don't have a tall wall.
Yeah, then we're okay, right? Well, he's going to keep getting taller, AJ.
Well, good thing there's only one more season.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, his height is it is what it is. It's not a story point. Here's Tabitha trying to remove the graffiti.
Yeah, trying to move the paint. We skipped the puzzle part. I didn't even mention that. It really annoyed me that Donna was like throwing the puzzle away. I didn't say that this time, but it did annoy me.
I didn't even know what you're talking about. I didn't even notice what it
was. Before I skipped it. I didn't mean to. I didn't say anything about it. She was cleaning up the puzzle and dumping it in the garbage. I'm like, why? You guys don't have a lot to do. Like, no.
Maybe there's a piece missing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So she's trying to clean this up.
All right. Yeah.
Scrub it up. She's trying to clean it up. And this is when she screams her head off at Jade. Look, Jade was a little insensitive, and Jade is always out for Jade, to be fair. But she was really mean, and he was trying to help, even if it wasn't coming across. Like, he was trying to be nice. He just didn't do a very good job of it. And he shouldn't have said, that pissed her off. Sorry, what?
Was he trying to help, or did he say, we have to tell everyone and think about this?
Oh, he said both, but I'm just saying he was trying to be nice to her, make her, I felt like trying to help her. But yeah, he was also saying we need to keep going. We need to keep digging. So there's that. Because he says that, this means it's true and that they're only doing this to scare us. Yeah. And she's like, well, they scared me. It worked. And he is kind of pushing. So I guess that's true, but she was a little harsh to him.
See, I don't think she was. I disagree with that. I don't think she was a little too harsh.
Really?
Jade is still pushing, but you know what? And you know what? It doesn't really matter what Jade said or did when he went in there. She is extremely fragile right now, and she's probably going to lash out. It could have been anybody but her kids. She probably would have lashed out at them a little bit because she's just, and it's Jade. And you know what? Jade is the probably the best person because he lets her do it. He takes it in. He's not offended by it. He's not upset by it. You know, he gets it. He's understanding of it, and it works perfectly because he gets to say what he wants to say. She gets to lash out, and he gets to then say, okay, he doesn't say this, but it's kind of like, okay, you got that out of the way. We need to continue. You can't expect people's emotions to just work in a, well, so and so reacted this way, so you should react this way too. It just doesn't work that way. So I don't think she was overly harsh. I think she might apologize. Hold on 1 second, Karen. I think she might apologize to him later and say that she might have been a little harsh, but in the moment, I don't think it's. I don't even think she's conscious of all of it.
I mean, she said it should have been you. I wish it was you hanging there, right? Like that's a little more than a little bit harsh. It's highly mean and inappropriate. But he was like Jade's. I mean, talk about insensitive. I think he's just not really capable of like understanding other people's emotions and being able to be like, this woman needs a minute. Like she just found her dead husband an hour ago. She needs a breath before you say, okay, this is it. Let's push. Right. Like,
yeah.
I agree.
Like, you have to think about your kids. Like he shouldn't have said that. Like he didn't mean it that way, but he probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. But I agree like with the substance of AJ's comments that he is the right guy. Like he can take it in and then deflect it and not like, he's not gonna be mad at her for the rest of the day. And right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she also needs somebody to blame because she knows that she's maybe partial or thinks that she's partially to blame, which they're kind of both to blame. If it was done because of the knowledge, then we know they are partial to blame.
I mean, at no point did Jim or Tabitha say, oh no, Jade, don't play that violin. It might not be a good idea.
Yeah. And I think she doesn't want to accept that it's her fault too. So she's blaming him, but it's kind of interesting because she sort of did what Ethan did. I mean, Ethan's like, I hate you. I don't want you here. And then she's like, I wish you were dead. I mean, that's kind of what she did. Right.
That's a good point, Jamie.
Yeah, she turned around and did the same thing. But look, everybody's emotions are high. But yeah, it was harsh. I don't think he said the right thing, but it was still a little harsh. And it was juvenile. Just a bit. All right. So more of Acosta. And this is
when she says, fuck it.
Yeah.
And we're like, ooh, what is she fucking?
I like that though. I wonder if they're expressing the emotions of their past not incarcerations,
incarnations.
Incarnations, yes, not incarcerations. I knew what he meant, but I couldn't get it out. All right, so she sneaks to the ambulance, which she didn't really have to sneak there, but she did. And
she absolutely had to sneak there because as soon as they saw what she was up to, they tried to stop her.
Yeah, but it didn't make her go that much. I mean, like she went fast. They saw her right away. I mean, is what I'm saying. It didn't really help, I guess. It's not that she shouldn't have.
Gotcha.
So they're like, Christy's like, then I'll go with you. I think that Mariel got way too upset over this. Like, I did not, and I know we kind of disagreed about this last night, but I do not think that Christy's life is in danger or that Acosta is tending to do anything that's going to hurt Christy. She's trying to get out of there. She's maybe being a little crazy, trying to, get out. But like, I don't think that Christy was in danger. And I'm not sure why Mariel got so freaked out about it a bit.
Because some person that doesn't believe anything anybody's telling them, that is made themselves an outcast, who's driving down the road at speed a lot faster than they should be driving. What if before we get to the strip eventually, what if I don't know, she hits a really big rock or something, or loses control of the ambulance and smashes into a tree on Christy's side of the car and is now dead?
Okay, that's possible.
I
do have one problem with this scene though.
I think
why did Mariel move from in front of the ambulance? She had her stopped.
Yeah, and she jumped.
Stay there. She's not going to run you over.
I don't know that could really be a thing that I would trust of Acosta right then. I think Jamie, before I know Jamie wants to complete her thought, I think that what we saw on the screen didn't adequately convey the speed that she's driving at. And because the other characters are like, oh my God, she's driving so fast. She's driving like a maniac. And then I just kind of didn't see it. And I think maybe the show didn't
think so?
well enough.
I guess
I
I'm
felt
looking at it this way. There's no other, I'm not saying she wasn't driving too fast, and you're right. They didn't really show that she was driving fast, but there's no other cars on the road either. There's nobody there. But it was kind of like, in my opinion, what was she going to do? She's going to go drive around in circles and find out she can't get out like everybody else does, and she's going to give up. She's right when she says she never actually did that. She just took everybody's word for it. So I don't know. I mean, my instinct is that she was just going to do that. Not that she intended to hurt Christy. You're right. She could have wrecked. That is possible if she was going fast. But yeah, I figured she'd just drive in circles until she found out she was wrong.
I think she's driving like a maniac. And I mean, you've heard of, one car accidents are very common. You take a turn too fast, you flip that truck, you hit a tree. They have no proper medical facilities. The smallest injury, it's a miracle none of these people die. I wonder if you can't, like, most people die from an infection. You either get destroyed by monsters or you magically get fixed, right? Not magically, but you have this amazing.
Maybe got shot and died, so not everybody.
Okay, but you don't like.
No, I know what you mean.
They're in a situation. It's like injuries can be really dangerous, and she's driving. Like it'd be very easy to flip that car, and look at the havoc that was. Now, granted, Jade ran the RV off the road, but like the serious injury that occurred to Ethan in what is essentially there's no collision, right? The thing just flips. Yeah, I think it's a highly dangerous situation, and people get killed in single car accidents all the time.
You're not wrong, but I guess my point is she didn't want to hurt her. Like, to me, Marielle acts like she thinks she's going to purposely hurt Christy. I guess that's what I'm not seeing.
She didn't want to shoot Nikki either, but she did.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Like Marielle's fear maybe is that she's in a car with someone who has killed someone on her first 5 minutes of being in the town.
Yes, but she doesn't have a loaded gun at least now. So
I mean, okay,
she's got a coffin on wheels.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. You're right.
I mean, remember that everyone in this town is on heightened alert and pretty much terrified at all times.
That is true. All right, so we have Jade talking to Boyd. He's asking about the fact that they left a message because that's new. Which it is. He says something to Boyd like, "Oh yes,
Kenny." We have a picture of Kenny here.
Kenny says something to Boyd like, "They left us a message." That's new, and that's because it's from the Man in Yellow.
Oh, the graffiti in the
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's because it's from the Man in Yellow. I don't think the Man in Yellow even painted it. Like he told them.
No. I'm saying though, we know it's from the Man in Yellow. We're assuming because he said that already. We've heard him say that. But yeah, they're saying that the monsters, nobody's ever left a message. So they would have discussed it, and then they get sidetracked because Marielle comes running in like a crazy person, calling them out, and then they go after the ambulance. Now,
it really bothers me that Sophia is dressed like a Mennonite from 1932. I maybe this costume is something that Man in Yellow has worn more than once and is keeping a lot, but I guess it bothers me in television when people of faith also have to be frumpy and right.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Well, I mean, personally, I think he took it from somebody in another cycle, so I think it is an old outfit, but my theory.
Old clothing, but
so yeah, I was just annoyed about the glasses, and I know you've heard me say this, and you've heard me go mad, so we don't gotta go into too much. But it irritated the shit out of me. Like, you can't just switch glasses like that. It doesn't work like that unless they're reading glasses.
Maybe her prescription is very.
That's not. Yeah, it depends on your prescription.
Yeah, but you're still not going to find the same prescription by switching like that. She just
nobody's saying she did find the same. I mean, they even went as far as she put the one pair on. She goes, "Oh, that's not going to work."
Yeah.
I mean, you understand that the glasses are just a nothing reason to get these two in a room to have a conversation, right?
Yes, I know that. It still irritated me. But her eyesight could not be that bad either, if it's even real. I mean, I think can see fine. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny. We talked about Sawyer and that, and at least that made more sense. To me, you can't just randomly pick up somebody's glasses and be like,
I know a lot of like I hang out, especially at my age now. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I forgot my glasses," and someone says, "Here, try mine." And like
absolutely,
they work or they don't work, or they're enough to get you through reading a menu.
Exactly.
She appears to need glasses all day for things, but a lot of people like they have a lot of glasses, and a lot like good enough is good enough in Fromville, right?
I guess, but if you needed them all day, I would think that you would get a headache from wearing somebody else's glasses, and you'd be better off keeping your own with a crack in them.
Not if you can't see.
I had like a little crack down there.
No, the important thing about this scene,
glasses are meaningless. Yes,
it doesn't matter. We're getting too far off.
The important thing about this scene that I kept waiting to happen, and I still think it could happen, is I was waiting for Sophia to turn to to Sarah and say something, like reveal herself to Sarah, so Sarah would go out into town, and be, she's one of them. She's not one of the monsters, but she's part of it, and nobody's gonna, not even Boyd, nobody's gonna fucking believe her. Nobody's gonna believe her, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, you're a killer, and what do you got against the new girl? Keep her away from the new girl, guys, because it's Sarah. Look, she's crazy." I think it could still happen. I was literally expecting it to happen right away, but I think it still could happen.
AJ, you did not feel that episode 2 would be a little early for that reveal?
No, the town's falling apart. I don't feel it'll be too early for it because because I could see it as a ploy to drive a wedge immediately, and being the Man in Yellow, I'm sure knows everything that's been going on with Sarah, so she's the perfect person to splinter it from everybody.
I mean, to me, I think I have a couple candidates who could figure it out, and Sarah is one of my top candidates who will figure out on her own that Sophia is what she is, and that could be really interesting to watch that over. I have some other suspects too, but she's I think I said last night, takes one to know one, and Sarah knows these monsters a little more intimately in that they've been in her brain, and I'm interested to see her figure it out. I'm really interested, AJ, that you say that. I'm really surprised because I
hadn't thought about that.
I mean, I like Samuel's comment here about asking, because of course, and that's exactly why they asked, because they know. That's exactly why they asked.
Oh, thank you, Neo. Thank you for talking from with David and I last week. Do you think Sarah is on to Sophia a little bit? She gave her some looks in the diner back room. That's what we were just talking about now. Thank you so much, Neo. I had done a show with him and David for Squawking Dead not that long ago, and we did the premiere of From. So I don't know. You asked me, do I think, because you asked me, I know last night, Karen, do I think Sarah's gonna be the one to figure out? The more we talked about it, it could be Sarah, but I really figured it would be Victor more than Sarah, maybe, to figure it out.
I don't. Victor's not in my top 3 even.
Victor seems to know things, though, even if you don't know why he knows things. Like, he didn't trust Elgin, right?
No, that's my other suspect. My other suspect is Elgin, who is the most faithful person in the town that we know of. He's a person of faith, and a fake person of faith, I think, is someone that he could get onto, and he could maybe see something suspicious in her. He also has had the monsters trick him, right? Because those two have been tricked by the monsters. Sarah more than Elgin, because Sarah sees them for what they are, and right now Elgin still maybe trusts Kimono Lady because he's in denial. But they're my top 2 that will figure it out. Victor, look, I'm a little tired of Victor always being the one, and so I would like someone else to figure something out.
That's fair. I hadn't thought, though, about them having their voices in their head. That actually is a good point, that could make them...
Especially since we don't know what I actually would love to hear one of the voices one time, just curious to see if it's the same. It's Man in Yellow's voice that was in their head.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I guess it depends what the voice is. Sarah, now the second craziest lady in town. Oh, Muncher. All right. So I did want to say though, a couple things. We have the ballerina, which I think is she looked at the ballerina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the ballerina? I know, Karen, you hate the ballerina, but I mean, is this foreshadowing that something's coming, that they're going to bring the
I
ballerina?
think she looked at the I think it was just a shout. I think she was like, "Oh, I missed the ballerina."
Yeah.
I think that was just a little.
I don't think it's a foreshadow, and it better not
No.
be a foreshadow. But like,
That's what I
oh,
said. Karen does not
look,
like the
Karen, come on, tell the truth. You missed the little ballerina dancing around randomly in front of Boyd.
She hated that storyline so bad, didn't you?
Yes, I agree. I think it was Sophia being like, "Oh, one of my greatest hits. This reminds me of my
Yeah, I could be thinking about it that way.
or like one of my worst ideas ever. The viewers hated it."
Okay. She did look at those glasses really weird though. Kind of gave an odd look there. Jen says that's the same ballerina as on the music box. I don't think she's dead nor gone. Well, I guess we'll find out. Karen hopes she is. That's all we can say is Karen hopes she is. Whoops, sorry.
It was my most hated thing ever on this show is the ballerina.
Yeah. All right. So Donna comes.
I would rather see Alma get killed than have to see that ballerina.
Oh no animal.
You don't care about the. You don't care about the goat.
No more. Although a goat's not as bad as a dog, so at least it wasn't the dog. All right. So Donna comes out here. As I said last night, I do like that she comes out and she's like, the fuck? Like, that was her whole response. Like, what is going on? She comes running out. They see the ambulance and they're trying to wave it down, but it does not work. And this is when, meanwhile, Ethan is sneaking out the back of the house with his backpack. And nobody pays attention, like always. But he does always take off. So
I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of uproar going on.
Right, exactly. And he's being sneaky.
I clicked. Sorry. Sorry, what? I clicked something and I was trying to figure out what I did. What'd you say?
I said he was being sneaky.
There's a lot of distraction.
Not a plan.
It's not a plan. All right. So this whole conversation is about Acosta saying, and I said this earlier, she says that she never got to test, that they can't get out. She took everyone at their word. And she also doesn't understand how Christy can be okay with what happened, what Sarah did in that. And she says, I'm not okay with it. Nobody said I was, but you running around like a crazy person isn't, it's dangerous too, is basically what she says. And then we go to story walking. We go back to them in a minute, but first we go to the story walking. She kind of explains a little bit what she's doing here and says she has to try to go back. Yeah, as usual, these scenes kind of flip back and forth.
Well, I mean, so she sends Randall in first, right? That's what's happening. Is where
that's the next scene, but yeah.
Oh, that's the next scene. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's why I skipped it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's why I didn't go into it, because it's not till they go back again. So this whole scene is with Tabitha talking to Jim, saying what she wishes she could have told him, that she'll take care of the kids. I know some of us disagree. I know you disagreed with some of what I said last night about Jim and how they were fighting and that. And you're right. It still can mean he could still be her one, but I mean, they've been fighting, and she's like, oh, like you should have been nice when he was around.
I mean, marriages have high parts.
I know they do.
It's not like a marriage is never just like happy. I mean, maybe there are some that are happy from day one to the very last day, and this is a marriage that was under tremendous strain from losing a toddler.
You're right. Which she acts like, I don't know, the way she said it made it sound like she was under delusions that they were like madly in love right now, where clearly they have not been in the best place.
It doesn't mean they're not in love. That doesn't mean
I know it doesn't. But I'm just saying the way she said it makes it sound like
I think really all of you guys just don't like her and you just pile on her in this whole episode. Honestly, there's a lot of hate for Tabitha, almost universal criticism of Tabitha in every scene of this episode.
Not inaccurate.
I had nothing wrong with. I had nothing wrong. I had I can't find words. Hold on. I felt there was nothing wrong with the way this scene played. I mean, I totally understood her. I mean,
No,
yeah, they
I
fight.
get
They
it,
fight a
but
lot, but it doesn't. And yeah, the original plan was for divorce, but they, it doesn't mean that she didn't still love him and that he still wasn't her person, and
no, but I'm just saying, like, if she wanted him to know that so bad, she should have told him before. It's just they were constantly fighting, and now
but
she's acting
but
like they were all getting along, and
They
they
weren't
weren't.
constantly fighting. They were fighting.
Well,
all right,
okay.
they weren't constantly fighting, and that's life, Jamie. Do you always tell everybody everything you're thinking at the minute you're
No.
thinking it because you think I'll tell them tomorrow,
Mm,
or
sure.
I'm pissed off right now? I mean, think about it. They weren't fighting the whole tree. It was it was just a little bit of a heated discussion. And if Jim had come home, maybe they sit down and she's like, whatever. There's always people always think that we always think we have all the time in the world.
Mhm. That's true. I guess I just don't feel like they were on the way to mending their marriage. And she, to me, makes it sound like she thought they were. And they've, to me, made it clear that they weren't getting back together anytime soon. I don't know. I'm just saying that's kind of how
They
I
weren't apart. Getting back together, they are together.
Yeah.
Well, they're still married. They were getting a divorce.
And they live
were
in a house together. And as far as we know, they
Yeah,
sleep
I
in
guess.
the same bed. And
I guess.
they had not initiated a divorce. That it was a possibility out there, maybe.
I don't remember I
on.
think it was last season. They were sitting on the porch and they pretty much were like, we're going to figure this out. You know what I mean? Like, there's lots of ebbs and flows, or especially a relationship that's on the rocks, and the fact that they haven't. Neither one of them clearly have completely dealt with the death of Thomas. We don't even know how long ago that was.
He was a baby.
I think it was.
I know he was a baby, but
No,
I'm
I
saying
mean,
we don't know how long ago that was.
Yes, I know. I was explaining, like, they told how long ago it was because that was when Julie said she had to take care of Ethan. I want to say.
I think it was 18 months. I want to say.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it was probably about a year to 18 months ago.
I think. I actually think I have seen their marriage grow stronger over the last couple of seasons.
I agree.
That they're in a better place than when they rolled in there on day one. And, I think that if Jim had an awkward moment in the previous episode, was it because he learned that his wife used to be married to Jade and they are reincarnated together for centuries and centuries, and they have a kind of connection between their souls that Jim and Tabitha can never have? Like, that's
I don't particularly mean specifically the last episode, but at least I'm not the only one that thinks that Hunter says preach it. Tabitha was hypocritical. She hated Jim when he was alive. I don't know if I'd go that far, Buncher, but
you know what I love though?
I want to live with that annoying know-it-all myself, right?
Maybe said I hate Tabitha. I don't hate her. I don't know. She was projecting when she blamed Jim for Jade for Jim's death. That's how she feels. Yes. I said earlier, I think she feels like she needed somebody to blame, just like Ethan needed somebody to blame, and she's taking it out on him.
The one thing that when she first gets there and she's like, why didn't you come home last night? I'm like, because he was dead during the day.
Yeah, he couldn't come, Tabby.
But that's the thing we have to remember too about all this is nobody knows that there's another entity that can walk around in the daylight.
Yeah, nobody knows. There's a lot of misinformation here because nobody knows what happened. I mean, for all they know, like you said, he could have stepped in a hole and broke his leg, and they came and they don't know what happened. So that does make a big difference. So, hi Kaiser, welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't love the scene. I don't hate Tabitha. I just sometimes in this episode she was annoying to me.
Some people read that scene as her being unemotional. I thought that the actress showed quite a bit of emotion.
Yeah, I think that the actress was fine. I just didn't.
I think Tabitha showed a lot of emotion. I mean, and I think some people react to a sudden death by being kind of numb.
That's true too. That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, no,
and
that's
not everybody cries hysterically all day, every day when their loved one dies.
Yes. And we also don't want to spend a long time watching them grieve either on a show. Like they've got to move on.
Depends on the situation.
I'm sure all you Tap of the haters would complain about that also.
Back to the.
I don't hate Tabitha. I don't hate her. I just was annoyed by certain things in this episode. I feel like when you've watched it, like I think at this point 6 times, you start.
I was just gonna say, Jamie watches these things three or four times a week.
We watched it like what, twice at the watch party. I had already seen it quite a few times, so yeah, I've seen it enough times now. I think I start nitpicking things too much. Yeah. It's bound to happen.
Meanwhile, back on Main Street.
Yes. So Boyd's like, stop. And it doesn't work so well. And he has to jump out of the way. Like, she would have hit him. I mean, she sure seemed like she was going to hit him. She was not slowing down.
She's a killer.
She's a killer. Yeah. So his plan didn't work. And this is where he's like, get the strip. All right. So here is Henry and Victor. What did you think about this scene? Because I've already heard what Karen thought. What did you think, AJ, about this?
You know, it's actually funny. I actually forgot about this scene until just now when you pulled it up, because it felt out of place in the episode. Actually, it was actually really funny because when when Henry goes looking for Victor, Damon goes, "Why would Victor be in the murder barn?"
That's hilarious.
And I was like, he is though. He's over there in the corner. Damon's like, where? I was like, over there. Look, he just moved. And he's like, oh yeah, there he is.
I guess the question that is why.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that. You know what it is? I think I forgot about the scene because from the rest of the episode, it felt out of place, and it was so short lived. Because it was, I really didn't think much of it at all. Honestly, I just kind of.
I don't mind this conversation, but I'm going to
took it for what it was and moved back to the action.
They could have had this conversation in Victor's bedroom, and it would have had the same weight and meaning. I think, right? Like, why is he in the barn? I mean, maybe he's doing his Inspector Gadget thing where he like goes around to see things and document things and see if it jogs a memory. I mean, I don't think Jim was ever particularly nice to Victor, and I don't really consider that they might have been friendly. But I could see why Victor would be upset for Jim's death. And as much as Ethan and Victor have been on the outs a little bit, I can see him being highly sympathetic to his little friend losing his father, right? And Victor knows what it is to grow up and live your life without a father.
Yeah.
And so I can see him being very empathetic to Ethan. But yeah, it was a little out of place, maybe shoehorned at this point in the episode and into the barn for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I think no matter you said about he wasn't necessarily close to Jim, I think he would have been upset no matter who died. But I think that this affects Victor more because he's worried about losing his own father now that he finally got him back. But the other important part of this scene is that Victor says that it takes, I don't know exactly what he meant, but it said it's, I guess the town takes everything good away. So yeah, I think Victor feels like, and he said this before, I think that like, I'm trying to think of the way to phrase this, but Victor sees it as like worried, I think, that it's happening again. You know what I mean? Like he lived through the massacre and he's afraid that it's going to take more people away. The town's going to take more people away. More, especially, yeah, I don't know what I mean by especially, but I just feel like he's worried because things are kind of going downhill and maybe he sees it.
I mean,
that makes sense.
He might have a great fear of being alone again.
Yeah. I definitely think he is worried.
But I think I don't think Victor's reaction is wholly about himself and his fears. I do think he has empathy for the loss of Jim and for Ethan's loss and for the town's loss.
Yeah, I think he's just not good at expressing it. But I do think
emotionally and psychologically stunted. He stopped developing at the age of like 11, right?
Yeah. All right. So to the story walking. So yes, Julie asks Randall to go in ahead of her, and she does it because she wants to make sure he doesn't story walk, so that he'll be there to bring her out when she's done. But she does tell him to leave her in no matter what happens, because she intends to try to save her father. And I know we don't got to go into it last night, but into it again. But let me just ask AJ, do you think that this means then that the other two cicada can't story walk? We kind of had this discussion last night. I assumed when I saw it that it meant like it kiboshed that theory.
Maybe. Well, I mean, clearly he can't, because he just went in there and didn't story walk.
That was what I thought. And then somebody in the chat brought up maybe it's like he has to be in a different location. Like maybe the ruins are only.
Okay, fair enough. That could, maybe there's another ruins. Maybe another ruins is his portal, or maybe he has a different special power.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I think that I think Scarlett had the best explanation of all last night when she said, "Look, more than one story walker is too much. Like we need one person to be able to do this, not three of them."
I agree with that too.
Yeah,
I was actually glad that he's not.
Yeah.
To me it answered the question, and somebody said that, and I was like, well, I don't know.
See, I mean, my thing is, she kept hearing the screaming. He still sees the cicadas. We really don't know much about Marielle, because she hasn't really said boo about it, So she hears the screaming. She story walks. He sees cicadas. Oh, maybe he flies. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would be careful though about the word proves. Like, does this prove the other two? Nothing.
Oh no, it doesn't prove anything.
And you didn't say prove. Jamie actually used that word, and I don't mean to nitpick it, but I think very little on this show ever proves anything. But
it implies.
I think you can surmise that the other two can't story walk.
Right. But my point was, I did think the idea that it could be someplace else was interesting, but I do agree that I don't think we need two more story walkers. All right. So Julie walks into episode 209. She sees her father and tries to call to him. Either he can't hear her or she's too far away. We really don't know.
It's episode, he's in the.
Yes, it's in episode 209
yes,
when Randall had kidnapped Donna. This is from that episode.
Oh, okay.
So they go out. But my point is, I'm curious, like, can they not hear her or just don't hear her because she's not close enough for them to hear her? That's a question I have that we don't know the answer to.
I think they cannot hear her because
she's close enough.
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't.
Here's the thing. I think maybe you can't hear a story walker, and I think that tracks with the idea that
no, it doesn't.
Let me finish my sentence before I say it, okay?
Okay.
I think if she could talk to them, then she could change the story. Although, but she talks to Jim in the in the season finale. She said, "Dad, I think this is what happens. Dad, please run. Dad, please run." So she is capable of talking to people in the story, and she spoke to Martin, right? And she, she is capable of speaking to people in the story.
No, I was going where you were too. I forgot she talked to her father, so that does.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was.
Well, thank you, AJ, for letting me work it out myself for a minute there. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I apologize for cutting you off.
They didn't hear her.
Okay.
They didn't hear her.
But Jim heard something.
Yes.
Because you see him kind of like,
It did look like he heard something, yeah.
Yeah. And I gotta say,
here's a question. Go ahead.
I want to say I love when stuff like this happens, and I guarantee you, if we actually went back to episode 209 in that scene and watching from the other perspective of Jim, I bet we see him looking around like he heard something.
Well, there was some kind of knock from under the RV, but other than that, I don't know.
My point is, I think the way they've crafted this, they've known a lot of things. Like, they've always known when they were doing this, they've always known what was coming. The creative team, I'm saying.
Yeah, that I agree with. People have said you can, I don't know that I'd go this far, but supposedly people have said you can see someone that looks like Julie. I don't know that I've seen that, but
Jamie, did you go back and is this exactly footage from 209 or is this a reshoot?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know that it is what the scene was in 209, but I think it's different because I don't think you see it from this angle. This you do.
No,
you see
I don't
Boyd
think.
from this angle.
Yeah.
But with them running off and stuff, I think is a different angle. But Boyd almost shoots Julie is the point. Whether he really could have, I don't know, but he's trying to shoot the monsters there. And then we have Julie, who is busy, which I kind of wanted to be like, Julie, what the hell? Like, I know she's trying to save her father, but like she's in the middle of where all the monsters are. And she just like, hey, I'm over here by screaming to him, screaming about her father. And like, yeah, that was probably not the smartest move. I get it, but it was still not the smartest move. All right. So the waitress monster lady grabs Julie by the hair, pushes her down, and she's seizing in the present, and he doesn't do anything. As I said last night, I thought that she was going to scratch her face, and that was how she got the scratches, but that didn't happen yet, apparently. Although her hair is still long, so I guess that still could have happened. We don't know when she gets the scratches. But anyway, the point is, after all that, she's like, I want to play, and nobody's going to save you, but Randall does pull her out and then holds her while she cries because it didn't work.
So I have a question. She required Randall to pull her out. She knew she required Randall to pull her out.
Mm-hmm.
In the previous season 3 finale, when Julie speaks to the man in yellow and then she disappears, did someone pull her out? Or
Ethan did. Ethan went and got Acosta and Kenny, I think. Ethan yelled and went and got them, and then I think they.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, Jamie. We don't know
that that's when she came from. We don't know that that's when.
No. I mean, the last time she story walked. I thought that's what you were asking.
I'm saying when she speaks to Jim in the season finale and says, "Dad, this is when it happens."
Oh, you're right.
And then the man in yellow says, "When did you come from? You can't change the story." Blah blah blah. And then she bloops and she's gone. So
no.
Well,
yes,
let me.
Sorry.
Do we think that she had someone pull her out, or do we think Julie will eventually develop the ability to bloop in and out?
I think somebody pulled her out.
I think somebody pulled her out, but she could develop it. But no, I was meaning in Julie's linear timeline. The last time we watched her story walk was what I meant. In the season finale, like not, at least I think it was in the season finale, not what we saw her in the future, I guess it wasn't the future, it was the present. Not that version of Julie. When we actually saw her go through the ruins.
Yeah.
We don't know where she went mentally.
I know. I'm saying the last time we saw her go into the ruins and walk through the ruins, I was saying that Ethan went and got Acosta and Kenny.
Yeah.
That was how she got out. That's what I was talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You misunderstood Karen's question.
Okay. Well,
I was surprised the monster could touch Julie. I also was surprised the monster could touch Julie.
I was not.
Okay, fair.
This isn't her past. Well, it's their past. I guess it's kind of.
But she was touching her father. She threw a rope to Boyd. Why can't the monster touch her?
They are not monsters.
But why wouldn't the monster be able to touch her?
Because maybe there's a rule. I don't know. I was surprised. Maybe there's a rule. Maybe she's untouchable. Maybe she's reserved for the
apparently there's not because she touched her.
Maybe because we know she doesn't die at this point. So I was surprised that the monster was able to touch her. Yes, I agree.
But couldn't she still? That's what I'm saying though. Like linearly in her own timeline, technically I don't think she's going to die, but technically she could die because she's still in her own present, even if she's in their past.
But she hasn't cut her hair yet, so she can't because she hasn't done that.
For that reason, yes. So the monster touching her changed the story for that night. Not necessarily. Maybe the monster always touched her, just like she always threw the rope.
Yes.
So I would have to say no to that.
Anything we see from Julie's story walking has always been how it happened.
Yeah.
We just didn't see it from that perspective.
I don't know why I always thought she would develop the ability to blip in and out by herself. She may eventually.
Yeah,
I think she might. Or does it's possible Randall remains her blip assistant, her seizure assistant. And he always pulls her out. But I always thought that she would just become like a story walker, become skilled enough to blip.
I like the idea that people have to pull her out simply because it makes it so that she doesn't have control of how long she stays. I think
Yeah.
a lot.
And she could be pulled out at just the wrong moment.
Yes. Yeah. Julie should talk to. Whoops. Did it go up? It didn't go up.
I got to stop.
Go ahead. Sorry. Julie should talk to Boyd about her story walking. Boyd used a torch to go back and forth at the ruins. Yeah, we still don't know if Boyd actually story walked or if that was because of the torch or if it was because of the paper in his pocket. We never really got an answer of how he did it or if it's the same thing.
I thought it was the torch.
Yeah, it might be. I don't. You put mine up by mistake instead of hers.
Hers doesn't make sense out of context.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I was gonna explain it. All right, you could explain it if you want.
No, go ahead. But Jamie says
we were having a conversation and talking about how she needed Randall there, and she called Randall her anchor, and I couldn't remember who said it. And then that's when Karen was like, "It's her."
I called him her constant.
Her constant.
Yes.
Either works. But at any rate. Okay, so Tabitha goes to find Ethan and he has left. So she has to go look for him. And then meanwhile, they're putting out the strip. And wait, there was something else from this I wanted to.
Well, before the strip, they see Ethan walking down the road.
Yeah, that's next. I hadn't gotten that far. Acosta says that her mother, I think this part's important. She says her mother always believed in hell, but she thinks hell is for people who think they deserve to suffer and that she's a good person, doesn't deserve to be there. And Christy says none of them do. And she says, well, she doesn't know them, but she's the only one that's trying. And Christy says the real reason they don't try harder is because every time they do, someone dies. And that basically that there's been a lot of people that thought they knew how to get out of there, thought they knew what the town was, had lots of theories, and they're all dead. So Christy has
that's not true. Because Jade is still alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Acosta is so sanctimonious. God, she's insufferable.
I cannot wait to talk to her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not so much Acosta hate now. Everybody's annoyed at her right now.
I mean, she really is sanctimonious. She's saying like, she's basically saying you're here because you want to be here. You feel you deserve to be like, she doesn't know anything about these people, right? And she's
that's her point. That was kind of her point too, though. That when Christy's like, we don't deserve to be here either, and she's like, I don't know that about you. You could all be terrible people for all I know.
And
which she's not wrong.
Seen from what she's
not wrong.
I get it.
But she also hasn't taken the time to get to know anybody either.
She hasn't.
And she's using these like assumptions, like to prove her own. She's using faulty like presumptions to prove her own point to herself, right?
Yeah.
Yes. For anybody who did miss that announcement earlier, make sure that you join us tomorrow at 8 Eastern, because we are going to have Samantha, who plays Acosta, there on, and you can ask her your questions tomorrow night. So
yes, and you should take this moment to like and subscribe so you won't forget to come tomorrow.
Yes, please subscribe, and you will get a notification when we go live if you forget. So that's always a good thing. And we're almost up. We got to get up to 2,000, guys. We're really close. Whoops.
Yeah, she has been there for 3 days, and she already killed one person and watched another guy get tortured. It's not been a good weekend for her.
It has not been a good day. Oh, has it only been 3 days? I didn't realize it only been 3 days.
I feel really better. 3 days it's been there. Wow.
I feel better about her wearing the same clothes.
Yeah. Unlike Elgin, right? Who's gonna wear for the whole time. All right. So they see Ethan, and Christy tells her to pull over, and she's like, oh, he'll be fine. And she's like, oh, he's alone in the woods and his father just died. He's not fine. Pull over. And she won't. They see the strip. She tries to avoid it. Christy pulls her back into the strip. And then we have Boyd, who doesn't pull her out of the ambulance. I'm sorry, yells at her to get out of the ambulance, and then shoves her against the ambulance and starts screaming at her for driving like that. Yeah. I don't know. I get it, but I also feel like he was a little harsh. Like, he has not had this chance. Like, everybody's done this, everybody's gone around in circles but her. So I kind of see her point of view, but she's
everybody has driven like a fucking maniac.
I said she's a danger to them, so I get it that he's pissed. But even
Christy's you know what?
It's enough.
And you know what's really gonna? I'm calling the prediction right now. Somebody is going to die because the ambulance is not mobile anymore.
Huh? That's a good I that's why I do think that they need it, because they, it's just like how they use that van that when Elgin helped save Ellis. Like, they need some working cars to have.
I mean, you can drive it on the rims if you just look up the block, but that's not a long-term solution.
No, it's not. But they used earlier to help Sophia come into town. Although that was a bad thing, but
exactly. There's going to be an emergency, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody turns to Acosta and be like, "This is your fault because you fucked up the ambulance."
You screwed up the ambulance. Yeah, maybe.
I think, Jamie, your characterization that Boyd is a little bit harsh is an understatement. Boyd is out of control, screaming at her. He's losing his shit. It's not a proportional response. It is not the response of a
leader,
of a military or police, although he's not a police officer. And in the military, wasn't he like the quartermaster? He wasn't like an MP or anything. But he's out of control to the point that Christy, the aggrieved party, admonishes him and is like, Boyd, right? She just says Boyd, but she's like, chill. And then he handcuffs Acosta. Like, what is he going to put her in jail for reckless driving? Like,
apparently.
Okay.
Not realistic, especially since somebody drove a car through the jail.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. He can't keep her there overnight, I guess, if he takes her there. All right.
His response is disproportionate, and he's out of control. He is. He's getting worse.
I agree. Boyd is a little out of control, but you know what? I'm completely on board with everything he said to her.
Yeah,
I would have said more. I would have said more.
He should have been calmer.
Can we take Golden Child's provocative statement? None of this will happen if Julia creates a new timeline. If there's a new timeline, I'm done. I'm not watching this show anymore. Alternate timelines
is not like multiverse.
Not the show I want to be watching here. Okay. Counterpoint: Boyd was justified. Acosta is out of control.
I think he was. I think he was justified to yell at her, just not in the way that he did. He shouldn't have put his hands on her the way he did, and he shouldn't have freaked out the way he did. He could have handcuffed her and yelled at her, but he went more than a little bit overboard. He went overboard.
They're both out of control.
Yeah, she is too. That is a good point.
This town is like a boiling pot, and the lid is about to blow.
And Sophia's sitting in the corner going, "Excellent."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now for the last. All right, so we go to the RV, which, by the way, you can't see the blood.
Yeah, Ethan walks right past and doesn't notice his father's last blood.
Yeah, and the stick.
Because he doesn't know what happened there.
So Ethan goes in, takes the radio, puts it in his bag, and then he comes out.
This was Go ahead.
No, I was just wanting to hear what you guys said, because I know everybody last night heard everything I had to say about this, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But what did you guys think about this? Because this scene to me was so weird. And I'm still kind of like scratching my head a little bit about what exactly happened. So what did you guys think?
Karen?
I thought Ethan's excuse, his story is uncharacteristically childlike. Like, he says he came here. I mean, he's a child, but he says he came here to get the radio to talk to Thomas and tell Thomas to like expect dad like in heaven. He doesn't say heaven, but like, right? Like, I thought this was a very babyish kind of plan, like younger than Ethan is and younger than he has grown in his understanding. I thought this was like a 6-year-old's plan. So I thought it was I thought it was not well written, but it's just a device to get him here to speak to Jim. There was a part of me that really believed this was Jim, that it was so a genuine moment between a father and a son, right up until he pulls this Lake of Tears bullshit, where I'm like, oh, maybe he's like how does he know about the tears? Like Jim, why is Jim telling him to look for the Lake of Tears? Why would Jim know about this? Is Jim a monster, right? Is it Man in Yellow in disguise or a Man in Yellow type figure? And then I came to the final conclusion that when you die in this town, you become a story walker, that Jim is now a story walker. Katri, Tom, are they all story walkers now? And has Jim walked into the story to give to give Ethan direction? Like by becoming a story walker, he now has knowledge that the Lake of Tears is important.
I don't know that I'd call them story walkers.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong word. You still think he's dead, right? You're just saying he can
story editors.
You're saying different points in time is what you're saying, right? Not
apparitions.
Like, how did he? Like, why is he giving this instruction? Has he, in death, gained total knowledge, or has he been able to read the whole story and now knows that he needs to interact right here?
I mean, that's kind of my question. I don't feel we have enough information yet. I feel like, that's the question. Is Jim like bartender Tom and Katri, or is he something, or is he a manipulation like Abby?
Yeah. Or is he the Man in Yellow? We don't know.
He's not the Man in Yellow.
Can't be the Man in Yellow.
The Man in Yellow is in town with Sophia, being Sophia.
Well, being Sophia, but she's not able to leave the town ever. And
okay, but it requires a
and all of a sudden look like Jim.
It requires a physical transformation that is not insignificant, and being naked and finding clothes that are Jim's.
All right, that's fair. I don't know. I'm just thinking of things. My point is that, and I won't go into the shoe thing, but
the word you're looking for is ghost.
Ghost. Yeah.
What are people saying? He was wearing different shoes?
What he had in season 3 doesn't match the body, and these seem to match what was from season 3. And I don't know. I think it's just continuity error is more likely, but
could there not be a shit ton of shoes in that basement also, in addition to glasses, and people change their shoes sometimes?
Yeah, they could. It just seemed to me strange to me that the shoes went back to what it was in the finale, but it might just be they stuck a different pair on the body. I don't know.
I mean, I also believe that they were traveling in an RV and they had a lot of their personal clothing with them. And the Matthews of all people are positioned to change their clothes more than others.
Right. But I guess the point is this a different Jim from a different point in time? Because why would he have different shoes is kind of my
point. We have a comment started about take these few that we've just
okay. Jim was just sitting there like an NPC until Ethan showed up. He was looking around suspiciously. Anyway, I had said last night, it makes me think of the way he kept looking around, and I still don't remember what it was. I saw something like that but it makes me think of, it might have even been Doctor Who. Like, it makes me almost think of somebody that's stuck in like a time, like they're dead and like you're seeing their last moments or something, like replaying kind of, but he can interact with them. I don't know. I just wonder, is that the Jim we know? Is it the same Jim? Or like you said, is it a ghost? I think it could be any number of things, but him looking around and the way he acted was what to me was very strange.
Unless he was waiting for Ethan and was looking around expectantly.
No, but he kept looking around after he was talking to Ethan. That was the thing, because Ethan's like, what's wrong? What's going on? I don't know. What do you think, AJ? Do you have any other comments?
Not really. I mean, it's not enough information. I mean, like I said, he's either like Katri and Tom, or he's a manipulation of the town like Abby.
Did he have my other question was, did he have his bracelet before? Because I remember Tabitha had it, but I don't know if that was like a copy of the bracelet because she had found the other bracelet, or if he wasn't wearing it. Because I don't know, it seemed like it was really visible, and I don't know, it stuck out to me. And I was thinking like, I don't remember him wearing it before. Which was also another clue to me that maybe there's something else going on. And I don't know. I'm looking at details that probably aren't there.
I think maybe if you were going to come back as a ghost, you might come back as the idealized version of that person with all the cues that make you seem real. So you have the bracelet, you have because you're appearing to them as a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not like a TV show where you come back.
I mean, to Sorry, go ahead.
No, on some TV shows, ghosts come back and they have their throat ripped out and they look like they did when they died. And others come back and they look like great, right? Yeah.
I mean, Tom, when he was talking to Jade the one time, he's wiping a glass down, and Jade's even like, "Why are you wiping that glass, dude?" He said, "That's what I do."
Yeah. Neo's one said, "This is my favorite part. I don't know why, but it was. It was a good scene. Kind of odd that Ethan and Julie both visited Jim at the same place at different times. That's true too. Interesting.
Well, Julie visited Jim at his real life death, and Ethan visited him where he would naturally be a ghost.
Yeah.
Because it's where he died. So it kind of makes sense.
It is. Kaiser says Ethan, the author, Mananiel, the author, are both unreliable narrators. One is a boy and one is an evil entity. And look, he could also, the other thing is saying unreliable narrator. Ethan could have also imagined it because he's grieving. So
yeah, I'm not sold on this theory that Ethan is an author of what's happening here. But to be fair, I haven't read much of what you guys have surmised because I try to stay away from a lot of theory and spec outside of this.
There's a lot of things to do with books and stories in this show. And that's kind of why a lot of people think that it might be, at least that's why I think it might be a storybook or a fairy tale or something Ethan's telling, or I don't know.
I mean, it's horrifying to me that he would be writing a story that involves his, like, all this, like, it's a horrifying story, right? And that a child would be creating this is.
Karen, I saw a theory that Julie is writing Flight of the Chromonacle, and the show is going to end with her closing the book, like Samuel Tarly, like Samuel Tarly on Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, yeah. This Jim's an either an imposter or he was coached to say this stuff about the Lake of Tears. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We've heard nothing about the Lake of Tears since the first episode until right now. Right?
I feel like once people die in Fromville, they gain knowledge, because Tom and Katri both seem to have more knowledge than they had when they were alive too.
Just for context, he asks Ethan about his dream, and that's when he says that it was about the Lake of Tears, and he says that it's there in the town and Ethan needs to find it. The only comment I really have about that is, you do remember, I don't remember exactly what they said, but I do remember that the producers had said that the answer was at the beginning, and the whole thing about the Lake of Tears isn't the beginning. And, Victor said, or not Victor, the boy in white said you have to go back to the beginning. So I think it makes sense if it's pointing to something that happened then, but more than that. Yeah, the Lake of Tears has been mentioned many times. It has been mentioned more times. I don't know, I'd say many, but it's been mentioned more than that once.
I mean, if Jim is an imposter.
Now I'm not the one doing it this time.
I get it. If Jim is an imposter, let's say he's an imposter and he's a monster or something or other affiliated with the man, with the other side, and he's telling Ethan to find the Lake of Tears. So two things: either he's sending Ethan to his doom, or is the Lake of Tears a thing that, like, they can't find or they can't access, and they need Ethan to find it for them?
Well, the other thing is, when he saw the Lake of Tears, it had to do with Victor's drawing of somebody crying and making the water or whatever.
He mentions it before that. He has the dream in episode 101.
Yeah,
right?
He dreams he sees the drawings. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it said he sees the Lake of Tears in Victor's drawings.
Well, we don't see what he sees. He describes.
No, we don't see what he sees, but I think that's what he was talking about. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was from the drawing. But either way, I think the Lake of Tears is important. But yes, you're right. Does he need to find it, or is it they're trying to find it and don't know how?
Kaiser, why the heartfelt music? When I watched this scene, I thought about Jim seeming really genuine, and I did at the time think, wow, that music really makes me feel that Jim is genuine. And I wonder if they'd played a different piece of music, he could have seemed really menacing instead, right? Like I
don't know. Kaiser's saying there was no music.
he says, why the heartfelt music? He's saying there
No,
was.
I know. And then he says, oh, if he met his dad and there was, okay, never mind. He said,
Yeah.
if he met him and there was zero music. I'm sorry, I read that
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. If there was no music or if there was a foreboding kind of music, I might have read this differently. Like I read Jim as being either really sincerely with, having a moment with his son or really good at acting it. But I do agree with you that the music really contributed to how I read this scene.
Yeah. Well, he kept looking around like something was going to happen. And that was the odd.
Maybe he thinks Julie might show up again in her story walk.
Maybe. I love though how they really needed to fix his cut. I said that I think that's funny that his cut keeps disappearing. I think Ethan knocked it off probably when he was hugging him, but it's like he has a cut 1 second.
Who's cut?
On his
forehead.
Like it's gone and then it comes back. Somebody had said, and I need to look this up because I don't know. This was just something I saw on Facebook yesterday. Somebody had said that in the season finale, he didn't have that cut on his head, that it had been healed. And that was another reason why people were saying maybe this is a different version of Jim. But you could also be right. If he's dead, like, could he be a different version, just what they would want to see? I don't know. But it does make me question that maybe this isn't the same time Jim or the same Jim. Or maybe Ethan's imagining it. Who knows?
Power Sports. Sophia is going to transform into many people. I think maybe Power Sports thinks this is Man in Yellow / Sophia has taken the physical form of Jim.
I think it's possible. I know you don't, but I think it's possible. I mean, he killed Jim. So at least if my theory is correct, that means he can turn into him. Although he'd have to have like his clothes.
Well, hold on.
I don't agree. Go ahead, AJ, please.
About this same moment, isn't Sophia still with Sarah?
Yeah.
Trying on glasses?
It's an awful lot of Superman in the phone booth for Sophia to be running around changing this painful physical transformation every now and then to turn into people. I think it's a lot.
It is.
I'm just saying how did this. I also, Jamie, disagree with you that it requires having the person's clothes. I think that's an assumption that.
Oh, it's definitely an assumption. That just I said from the beginning. I think that has to have their clothes, and I think he has to have killed them. That's just what I've been saying from the beginning. That's my theory.
He didn't kill. I mean, he didn't kill.
No, we don't know that he did. I think he killed somebody that looked like Sophia.
It's just Jamie's theory. That's all.
Yeah, no, I have no clue. I've thought that from the very beginning. It makes sense to me because I don't think she's actually somebody that exists. Like, I think she existed, but I think she existed like a long time ago. I think she might be from like the 30s or something. And I don't know. I'm just going down on that hill. That's what I think.
I don't think. Yeah. I mean, he didn't kill Father Khatri. The monsters got Khatri, right? Or did we not see that happen?
No, the monsters got
Khatri. I think Smiley killed Khatri, actually. Slit his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smiley slit his throat. Well, I don't. To be fair, I don't think the Man in Yellow is turning into Khatri. So I don't.
Oh no, I don't either.
Okay, but you think he's turning into Jim?
I'm saying he could. I agree with you, though. If he was in town with her, it would have been a big leap to think he had to come out. She had to come out and transform all over again. It's a lot. I'm just saying there's something up. He kept looking around like somebody was coming. It was really bizarre. And I think, like I said, is it really Jim? Is it all in Ethan's head? Is he a ghost? Or is it a Jim from a different time? Is it the Man in Yellow? I think any of those things could be true. So y'all don't think that Ethan would sense if it wasn't the real Jim. I don't necessarily think so. I think that he's grieving and he'd probably be happy to see his father. That's what I think.
I mean, I think these monsters can be very convincing. I mean, granted, they tricked Sarah, who wasn't maybe all that stable to begin with. Mm-hmm. They tricked Elgin. I mean, that's a good point, Golden Child, that, this is a relationship that if anybody's going to be able to spot that it's not the real Jim, it's going to be one of the Matthews family, right? And would Jim not? I'm going to go with Jamie with your response that this kid is like only known that his father's been dead for like 8 hours and he's overwhelmed and just happy to see him. And this is a kid who believed that he could get a radio to get his dead brother to talk to his dead father.
Yes. But I don't know. That to me wasn't odd. I mean, he's not necessarily.
No, that was bad. I thought the same thing. I thought when he said that, I was like, that is so stupid. I was like,
I thought originally
all the
he
smart,
would get the
all the
radio.
smart stuff Ethan has said, and this is the excuse they used to bring him out here.
I thought maybe he went to get, I mean, like what I originally thought before you said that is I thought he went to get the radio because like his father used the radio and it was like important to him and it was like he wanted to have something.
That would have been better.
That would have made sense. Jim didn't look scared. He looked like he was waiting. He definitely looked like something's up at any rate.
I mean, I think Kaiser might mean when we see him earlier, not in this exact shot, but when we see him earlier, like he does look like he's waiting for him.
So
doesn't
Jim
matter.
Is in the wait. Jim is in the waiting room in heaven. St. Peter said, "Don't you go talk to Ethan." Oh no, don't worry, I won't. Oh shit, he's coming. I gotta go, Ethan. That's what that's.
Well, either way, he does tell his mother right away. She doesn't say whether he leaves him or not.
Anon thought it was sweet.
I thought it was too.
It's sweet. It's childlike.
He is a child.
But yeah, he is a child.
No.
But why did he think he could talk to Ethan in heaven or wherever, or Ethan and Thomas, when he knows that the voice on the phone was not Thomas?
Yeah. Well, he was upset. He probably wasn't thinking.
We're nitpicking that too far, and I gotta go.
All right, we got like a couple more. If you gotta go, we have a couple questions hanging around that we left since the beginning of the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna go through those, and then we'll wrap it up.
I think that one. Okay, this is a very controversial statement. Not very controversial. This is the Jim death that Julie witnessed happened in a whole different timeline. Golden Child, I probably should do some digging on this alternate timeline thing because I'm not down with it. I think you all have thought about it more than I have. I'm just not a fan of multiverse stories always.
In this instance, I don't think there is personally, but
other people think they have good evidence for it, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess there are questions about Jim, dead Jim wearing the same shirt. We just went through that we think maybe they have a lot of clothes around, or maybe it doesn't matter, or maybe it's a big clue that I'm glossing over.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. Let's see. Kimberly had said, do you think Boyd told the town about killing Smiley? And if he did, wouldn't they need to know that he came back? I don't think anybody knows except for those few people, do they?
No,
because they said burn the body and not to tell anybody.
I got a question about that. Why would you not tell the town about I mean, I agree with you that they didn't tell everybody, but if you have this like one great victory and piece of hope, the first one you've gotten since you've been there, why wouldn't you be like, guess what? We killed one. They can be killed. There's hope, you guys.
I don't know.
How? Let's keep killing them. Oh, I had these magic worms in my arm.
Yeah, sorry, the magic worms.
It might be too risky. I don't know. I remember them saying to burn the body and not tell anybody. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So I assume they didn't tell them about the death either. I mean, I don't know that that's right, but that's what I remember. I want to know if any of those red shirts have had some mystical experiences they don't tell anybody about. People don't talk enough among themselves. In the first episode, at least or was it this episode? Whichever. They finally are. It was the first one. Boyd was finally telling people like about Smiley and that, and it's like they're finally sharing information. That's a good thing. All right. I
think we're covered.
And on it said I tried to hype the Nathan interview, but there isn't a hype option. I've heard that I think you have to be on a device and you can't do it on the computer. At least that's what somebody told me. Like it depends where you're at to hype it. But if you don't have any hype, then you may not have it rolled out to you. Not everybody has a hype button, but the video should. Usually I think as long as it's within a week, there should be a hype button unless you don't have any. But I don't know. I haven't actually looked.
The internet says you have to be on the mobile app.
Okay. So yeah, go to the mobile app to hype it. But yes, please guys, if you can hype a video, I think actually the interview is probably the best one to hype as opposed to these lives, because it has a chance of doing better and getting higher So please hype that if you can. Please like both videos, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. It's always appreciated. I don't know then, Anon. YouTube does a lot of weird things. I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't come out yet. I don't know. But if you don't see it, then hype another video or hype the one with Samantha tomorrow. Any hype is still appreciated.
Well, apparently hype is really meant for small creators. It's for people with less
which we're still
followers.
Under,
and it's really designed to help small creators get out there.
Yeah.
More than 500, less than 500,000.
Yeah. It's definitely in there. I don't know.
I'll see.
I don't know if I can see it because I'm logged into the account, so I'm not really the right person to ask. But
all right, well, we'll try it. In the meantime, I think we have to say goodbye to AJ and me and wrap it, huh?
Yes, AJ has to. I have a promote and I'm on the computer. I don't know why I'm looking. I'm on the computer looking like it's going to do me any good. I don't know. Samuel says you can only hype videos less than a week old. Well, this is like an hour old. An hour old. A few hours old. It was from earlier today. So, I don't know. I don't know. YouTube does dumb shit. So I really don't have a better answer than that. But if you can hype it, please do. But any hype, honestly, is appreciated. It's just better if everybody can do the same one. But everyone is appreciated. But yeah, please, if you missed the interview with Nathan, you can still watch it on the live tab. You can watch our other interviews like with Harold and Julia. You can see on our video tab. And then tomorrow at 8 Eastern, we have Samantha Brown, who plays Acosta. So make sure you join us. And then followed by that at 10, we have our normal Fandom Access show to talk about Monarch and Daredevil and For All Mankind. So I will be setting that show up yet. I have not done that yet because I was set up the interview earlier. I got to do that now. But yeah, so make sure that you join us tomorrow and we'll see you next week for From. Make sure if you haven't, I'll put the link in the chat. If you haven't, make sure that you join our Discord. I cannot talk and type. Hold on, let me type. Because it has our schedule and also our watch parties. We will have a Daredevil watch party tomorrow when we're done the live, and then we have it again on Thursday before our Daredevil live. Although please do check the schedule because AJ blooped out. Because there's a possibility we might not be having the Thursday live and watch party just because I may have to not be home. So do check the schedule. But we of course have our From watch parties on Saturday night at midnight and Sunday at 9 Eastern. So you can all join us for that too. All right. Well, I guess that's it, kids. AJ's already gone. He's abandoned us.
Oh, all right. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.